Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday out there. How are you tonight, guys? We are here to chat about chatty things because, well, that's what I do. I'm okay. Nothing worth talking about. Although I do want to report, because we talked about this yesterday, Phoebe did get a little catnip today. With the way she reacted to the mint yesterday, I was like, we have some catnip. I wonder if she'll like it. And she reacted very cat-like. I don't know what it was when she was younger. She really didn't like it. But now, yeah, she got herself a little high, and then it was just kind of cute. Thank you. Before the stream here, let me get that back on the screen. Thank you, Twisted Skipster. Doc changed my pain meds. I walked to my pond for the first time in years today. Have some celebration money. Thanks for the inspiration, Simeon. You mean a lot to us. Have to, Jack. Thank you so very much for that. But, dude, awesome. That's fucking cool, man. I am so glad to hear that you were able to do that. Just a little bit of adjustment of pain med can make a fucking world of difference sometimes, right? I remember my old days before they got me on what I'm on now. I had days, man. I had days. And yeah, I still have some bad ones now and then, but nothing compared to what it was like. So I'm really, really happy to hear that they found something that's working for you, and I hope it just keeps getting better. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about tonight, so it's going to be one of those kind of things. I have two things. I have why in the fuck is Garland over there in Ukraine? And then I have some updates on some drama crap that some of you may not care about. I'll try to keep that quick. But we're going to start with Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, is over in Ukraine for the second time within a year. I don't know why. I can tell you the official reason why. The official reason why is so that he could reaffirm our commitment to going after people guilty of war crimes in the Russian invasion. That's their official answer. Yeah, it's look, man, if those dirty Reds do something, then we'll get them. Sure, whatever. Let's get this up on the screen here. I told Jack yesterday I got to get better about when it's my turn for stories, when I'm doing stories that I brought, bringing it up on the screen. I don't do it very often because I read the stories and I give you guys a gist of it, and I don't necessarily always have a story brought up. But I did today. Aren't you guys proud of me? Attorney General Merrick Garland makes unannounced trip to Ukraine. Unannounced because, I don't know. My replacement mug came in today. My collection was looking sad with that. What'd you do to your mug? Remember, guys, you can pick up mugs down below in the description, whether you're on Rumble or YouTube. It's down there for both of you guys. Go to the Teespring store. There's different shirts. There's different stuff. Help yourselves. If you have money. Don't just steal, because we're not San Francisco here. Attorney General Merrick Garland makes unannounced trip to Ukraine. So a couple weeks ago, Joe Biden goes to Ukraine. And then for some reason, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen went there. He's grabbing his cut of the 10% for the big guy. Yeah, maybe they're all just bagmen. But our Treasury Secretary and our Attorney General have made trips over there in the last couple of weeks. The president, I guess you could make diplomatic, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Okay, fine. But Yellen and especially Garland, his last trip was back in June or July. It'll say in this article. Attorney General Merrick Garland made an unannounced trip to Ukraine on Friday, according to a Justice Department official. His second trip to the country after Russia invaded little more than a year ago. The trip was not announced for security reasons. Garland was invited to Lviv by the Ukrainian prosecutor general, the official said, and joined President Volodymyr Zelensky at the United for Justice conference. The official added that Garland held several meetings and reaffirmed our determination to hold Russia accountable for crimes committed in its unjust and unprovoked invasion against its sovereign neighbor. Hmm. Can we stop with the unprovoked? If you want to say that they didn't like fire at him first, okay. But can we just stop with the unprovoked bullshit? Corn Pop's birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Corn Pop. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great one. Really, really do. My daughter accidentally broke. These things happen. I know we have one. I don't know where it's at. Occasionally I'll see somebody use it. I don't drink coffee, so I don't use mugs. He's going over there for this unprovoked tag. Did you hear it was unprovoked? In case you missed it, there was no provocation. Nothing about Zelensky coming out and saying we are going to join NATO. Said it out loud. Sure, not completely unprovoked. All right. There was provocation. Whether or not it rises to the level of war, that's, I guess, for each of us to determine for ourselves. I just hate the nonsense, right? They make it sound like Ukraine was there, minding their own business. They're just farming away and humping, making new Ukrainians, and suddenly the Russians were there. Yeah, I mean, I still fuck Putin. All right. I do not want anybody looking at this and go, oh, but monkey, he supports the Putin. I do not support Putin. Think the guy's a shitbag, murderous piece of shit. But for some reason, you have to say that anytime you point out that Zelensky and co are a bunch of shitbags too. Because if you don't, then oh my god, you guys know that he supports the Russian. No, I don't support the Russians. Fuck them. I just think we should be honest, right? Is it wrong to be honest? I guess it is. Thank you, Evolved Potato. It's just so simple, Monk. They're just campaigning. It's standard stuff. The Ukrainians are the Dems' biggest contributors. Yeah, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to contribute these days now with Sam Bankman-Fried locked up. It's not as easy with your number one money launderer gone. Anyway, so yeah, he's over there. The trip comes nearly 2 weeks after President Biden made his trip to Ukraine, and several weeks after trips by several cabinet members. Janet Yellen was recently there too. Notice they don't give actual time frames for this. I feel like if people knew just how quickly these guys were turning over, they might be like, hey, how come they're not doing our business? Anyhow, so let's discuss. I have a reason I think that he might be making his second trip in less than a year. And I have no proof of this. This is just where my mind went first. They are still looking into Donald Trump. Remember, they're looking into the January 6th thing. And it kind of would bring both of the impeachment trials together. Because remember, the first impeachment trial was because Trump was over there Trump was holding up money so he could get dirt on Biden. And I just wonder if maybe this little asshole's over there digging for dirt on Trump, because they do have the Trump investigations, I guess. Witch hunt is a better word. Witch hunt is a much better word. But Biden was just there. Yellen was just there. There's not a good reason to send Garland himself. And even in that case, there's not a good reason to send Garland himself for that. Now, if we had a just Justice Department, he'd be over there going, hey, I need a lot of information on what happened with Hunter Biden and Burisma, and oh yeah, the prosecutor you guys fired. I'm gonna need all the information you can give me on that. He's not going to do that though, because that would actually be going after criminal activity that's, US based. But yeah, I just really I don't see why we got to keep sending our people over there. Look, We're all just Roosevelt visiting other places. Would it be worth it? And I'm not hoping for any of this to happen. But would sending these guys over there be worth it if one of them died in like a Russian attack? Right? Like, as U.S. citizens, would we sit there and go, well, yeah, it was a good thing we sent them over there. If one of our people got even if you don't like Yellen, you don't like Garland, if they got killed over there as they're traipsing around the world on your dime for no fucking reason. As Americans, we say, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's horrible that he died, but it was worth it. He was doing the right thing. Or we'd be like, bitch, why were you there in the first place? Because I got to be honest with you, I'm going to lean towards the latter. Like, bitch, why are you there in the first place? The Attorney General, the top law enforcement agent of the United States, is on his second trip to Ukraine in actually, what is it, less than 9 months? Less than 9 months. I guess it had to happen. He had to go speak to a whole bunch of folks who don't speak our language and tell them about justice. I wonder do you think he brought up anything about, banning political parties and shutting down newspapers that disagree with you? You think he brought up any like, hey, over in the United States, we have this legal doctrine called the First Amendment, and we think you guys are violating the ever-loving fuck out of it. I have a feeling that's not happening. Not kidding. It's payoff time. Look, Faithless, I would not be shocked, but I don't have any proof of that either. So, why Nuremberg happened? Because they were the enemy, so there was nothing to lose in trying them, and even still, some got away because they were useful. Oh, sure. Fuck, how do we make our moonshot? We let Nazi fucking rocket scientists come to the U.S. and teach our guys how to get as caught up as they were. Yeah, it was okay. They were just working on the V2 rocket systems. Alan, thank you so very much. Good morning, monk. Good morning, sir. How are you? The next person to be there will be Marcia Fudge. I figure the next person. Let's see. We've had the Treasury. Oh, you know who's going next? You know who's going next? Buttigieg. Watch. Mark my words. Buttigieg is going to have to go over there so we can talk to them about rebuilding infrastructure. And who after that? They'll probably send. I always forget our vice president's name, Kamala Harris. They'll send her dumbass over there soon. Soon. Who else? Maybe the Secretary of Education. Maybe the Agricultural Secretary. I don't even know these people's names. Gavin Newsom wouldn't be sent, though. See, Gavin is still, the federal government wouldn't ask him. He would go. You can go to Ukraine if you want to, but these people are on official U.S. business. And governors are rarely asked by the federal government to go, hey, would you go do this? Mayor Pete, so he can teach them to be nice to the LGBT community. That's a good point, Ramen. Maybe they wouldn't do that. Maybe they don't want him beat to death right there and thrown in jail. In that order. I guess there's times when you can be like, okay, the Attorney General, he's going to go give a speech overseas at some conference, I guess. But why is this being held in Ukraine? Oh, because it's a Ukrainian thing. It's not like this is a worldwide kind of thing. Yeah, they invite everybody, but it's not like a UN meeting, right? He could have gone and given a speech to the UN, which is right there in New York. He's only got a short plane trip from DC to New York. He could have gone and done that. Nah, send over your honor to Admiral. Oh, yes. What is she? Undersecretary of Health and Human Services, Rachel Levine. Yeah. Well, it is illegal to be gay in the Ukraine. Hey. Shh. You also probably don't want to be Jewish there, especially if you're down in the Donbass region. But hey, shh, let's not talk about those kind of things. These asshats are a disgrace. I agree. I mean, they're doing this right in front of everybody. Like the United States has tons of money to waste. Apparently we do, because we do it all the time. But hey, let's just send Janet Yellen over there, which, I mean, sending the Treasury Secretary makes a little bit of sense since we're giving them so much money. I mean, we might as well have the person who signs the checks go up there and go, yeah, we're going to give you more. It honestly makes no sense to have sent Janet Yellen. It's not like we have any oversight of the money that we're giving them. Literally, we don't. One of the holdups that Rand Paul had is like, look, I just want there to be some oversight. I want to be able to look and see where this money went. And they went, nah, we can't do that. The Democrats were, no. Look, man, if we give oversight, and many Republicans, let's be fair on that part. Many Republicans who are just itching for a goddamn war. All of these fuckers are like, nah, man, if we start digging into how they're spending this money, I mean, that could lead to some awkward questions. Like, why are you giving money to Nazis? You know, why are you? Never mind. Let's leave it at that. The What's up, Jack? How you doing tonight?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm giddy, but that's as far as I'm willing to go.
Oh.
I'm amused at the fact that our federal government is all lining up to go take trips to Ukraine for stupid ass reasons.
Yeah, it's well, they're all busy money laundering, I think.
Cannibalistic Wizard said Garland went to get Nazi memorabilia. I mean, very possible. I mean, who knows? Prince of Cats, holy moly, thank you so very much. Coming through with the shibida doobity, who says, you're amazing. Thank you very much. It's very, very kind of you. Over on the Streamlabs, oh, did I not refresh that? I did not refresh that. That would have been a great lead into reading that donation if I had done my job. Thank you, Dragon Mage. What about Ukraine's war crimes? Bet they're not committed to going after them, which strange for people who supposedly care about justice for war crimes so much. Look. Ukraine has never done anything wrong. Ever.
It's not possible.
No. I don't know if you guys know this. Jesus was born in Ukraine. And Adam and Eve were there in Ukraine, and all the Bible came from the Ukraine because they are magically religious.
It's true. Noah's Ark landed there. It both left there, was constructed there, and landed there. So it's a land of magic and wholesomeness.
They will not look into Ukraine's war crimes because, yes, Ukraine's the birthplace of democracy. They actually invented the word democracy. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I was unaware.
Yeah, Zelensky, back in, he invented the word democracy.
It makes total sense now.
Yeah. Vladimir Zelensky himself is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, if you guys missed that headline.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And if we don't fight for him now, we are betraying the Lord.
Yeah, not fighting for him is satanic.
We are not. It's not only satanic, Monkey. It's a betrayal to Jesus, yes, Buddha, and Muhammad.
And Muhammad. So those of you, and look, for the Muhammad thing, they hate gays, so you guys should be on board.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that somebody in his inner circle invented like Shinto too. So the Japanese have to get on board with this.
Peter says, okay, that's just blasphemy. Look, man, we're trying to make the point. Garland going over there again for the second time in less than a year. Yeah. And the nonsense, he had meetings to reaffirm that we're going to go after those Russians for war crimes. They do not give a fuck about war crimes. Notice he didn't say reaffirmed our commitment to going after those who perpetrate war crimes. No. Specifically, Russia for war crimes. Anyhow,
real fast. Thank you, Alan, who says, hello, Jack. Hi, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
Has anyone else seen the footage that allegedly shows 2 Russian soldiers having a chemical dropped on them by a drone, causing them to seize and drown? Or I'm guessing it says seize and down. No. And I'm very weary of any footage we get out, whether it can be deemed pro-Russia, pro-Ukraine, or neutral. Just because we don't have a good way of verifying a lot of it, and a lot of it turns out to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Bullshit.
Fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullshit's one word, right? Yeah, bullshit works perfectly. Unfortunately, there's so much propaganda on both sides of that. It's really hard to trust any news that comes out about this war. It'll be like 5 or 10 years before we get any actual factual stuff, and all the really insane shit will be downplayed by both sides.
And that's 10 years after the war ends, not from this point.
Yeah, exactly. No matter who wins, a lot of stuff's going to get covered up and exaggerated.
Yep. Ukraine is an excellent example of religious freedom. Yeah, they're really good on the free speech too. You know what? They were the ones who wrote our First Amendment.
Yeah. It got modified a little bit so that you actually had some, but yeah.
Neutral footage. Look, all footage is neutral. It's how it's presented that has changed. I mean, footage is just, hey, this is what happened. It's the hey, these Russian soldiers being poisoned and drowned that becomes the, hey, that might have actually happened to somebody. Might have even been Russians. Could have been dropped on them by the Russians. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, Jack, I'm just, it's kind of odd that that all of our upper management, for lack of a better term, I guess our federal government, I like upper management better, they're all running over to hang out with Zelensky.
For some reason, they've got it in their heads this is popular, and this is something that should be pushed. They really are desperate for a war, I think. They want a good old-fashioned war story that can make them all look like heroes.
There's a sad reality that for a lot of people, this is popular. It's been presented to them as, oh, those damn Ruskies. Every article that comes out about this is how horrible the Russians are, how great. It's amazing that you have all of these articles that are like, the Russians, these shitty bastards, they're getting their asses kicked. By the way, tons of Ukrainians are dying and they're blowing shit up constantly.
They haven't been doing airstrikes from the Russians the way that the Russians could.
Yep, and they still haven't. They're getting ready to. They're gearing up for it, and that's been going on for a little bit.
With all that new stuff that we've been giving to Zelensky, it's no wonder. And Kiev has largely not been attacked for quite a while. So if they decide to do some real carpet bombing stuff, the Ukrainians have almost nothing in the air.
Kiev hasn't really been, I mean, they've fired some missiles in there, but for the most part left alone since the original invasion. A couple months after the Russians back off. That was supposed to be a sign that they weren't doing well, Jack. And then they moved all their forces down to where they actually want to take over.
Yeah.
They were trying to intimidate Kiev into, just capitulating. And everybody, like, no, see, they just stopped them. Yeah, they didn't just stop them. The Russians weren't that interested in Kiev. Now, I misjudged that part of it, Jack. I thought they were going for the whole country, which probably they could have done.
Oh, yeah, they easily could. They still could.
Oh, yeah. But what they really want is that region right along the Black Sea so that they have all of the commercial trading area.
Yeah, they want access to the Crimea that's easier to get to so they can run supply lines, and they want to be able to control the Black Sea. I mean, at this point, they might want the rest of Ukraine just out of spite.
The Russians are not able to penetrate Ukraine's air defenses. Then how does shit keep blowing up? I'm going to need that explained to me. Yeah, fuck these guys. Let them fight it out. We'll make peace with the ones who are left over. We'll deal with them because this is not our fight and it shouldn't be. And stop with the democracy bullshit, please. Democracy, shut up.
Yeah, there's no good guys in this war.
And if exactly, now that makes the point I was about to. And if we are going to reaffirm our commitment to dealing with war crimes, it should be all war crimes, not just Russian war crimes. So fuck off. So the Ukrainians think they drove Russia back. That was, I mean, you can go read the story still. That was the narrative over and over and over. They drove them back. They were too scared to go into Kiev. They stopped right outside. Oh, because they couldn't. Their tanks literally could have drove down that street. Anyhow, and even, what's his name? Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko, right? Is that his name? Former boxer, mayor of Kiev. He was like, I don't know what we're going to do if they come in.
Yeah.
But democracy is mob rule. It is. And that's why we don't have an unfettered democracy here in the United States. We have a lot of things that are actually democratically decided, things like mayors and governors and even our senators and representatives. But when it comes to, and even our senators, the way they're elected is democratic, but them being senators isn't really, because there's not proportionate representation there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways to, make sure that it's not just the will of the majority overrunning everybody else. But yeah, it's mob rule. Absolutely is. I nominate Monkey as a good guy in this war. I'm not involved other than the fact my money's being taken and given to that fucking shithead Vladimir Zelensky, probably so he can store it offshore and retire to a nice island later in life. I say probably, like it's not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, well.
Evil One says, I'm back. Hope y'all enjoyed the month I was gone. Why were you gone so long?
Were you having fun adventures without us?
I'm tired of having this discussion if we're a democracy. I don't mind having the discussion as long as we're discussing it rationally. Because there's some people, hey, we're just a constitutional republic. True. However, we do have a representative democracy. We do elect a lot of people. Our millages and ballot measures, those are all done democratically. So we have both in the United States. It's just that our federal government, especially at the top level, is not. That's why the Electoral College exists, and the people are, we got to get rid of that. Fuck you. Speaking of things they want to get rid of, God damn it, they're arguing about DC again. Have you seen this nonsense?
Yeah.
So the town council, I don't know what exactly they are. The town council there in DC, right? They come up with this plan to make it so that they're going to go softer on criminals. And it's so bad, even the mayor, who is a dyed-in-the-wool lefty, progressive, wokey shithead, was like, nah, we ain't doing this. And then the town council overrode her. So, if you read your Constitution and know how this stuff works, the federal government actually has control over Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And the Senate right now is like, yeah, we're going to override this shit. And Biden has said, yeah, we're going to override this shit. And they're going to get rid of it. And there's a lot of people mad because, they should be a state and they should be allowed to decide how to do things themselves.
No, the constitutional violation.
All right. DC should never be a state. If you people want to vote, move to Maryland, move to Virginia, move to what else is really close right there? Pennsylvania, New York, West Virginia, even as far down as North Carolina. You're not that far away. There's tons of places you could move to and be represented in Congress. Move. The people who are there will be happy to have less of you there because there's way too many people in that city.
Yeah.
But it should never be a state. And the reason for that is that the seat of power for the United States, and this is in your constitution. God, please read your fucking constitution.
No.
The seat of power. No, I'm never recommending anybody go to New Jersey, Rogue. No, that's just mean.
Oh, no, I recommend all politicians go to New Jersey.
Okay, politicians. I'll give you that one. That was my bad. The Constitution lays out that there's going to be a specific part of land for the seat of government and that no state will control it because they didn't want any state to have too much influence, too much sway over the federal government. So that we have this district, the District of Columbia there, where it's just a city where we conduct our business. If you don't like that you don't have a vote, move the fuck out. Buddha, thank you so much. He says, good morning. And Buster's Outlaw, thank you. New song on my channel for Jack. Oh.
I'll have to check that out.
Thank you, Chaos One. They know DC will never leave blue. The idea of sheer power that gives them has them salivating more than a hooker on payday. Look, a good hooker doesn't have a payday. Every so often, she gets a little bit of money to go to the free clinic. I'm just saying. Pimps, you can't be giving these women too much money. Don't you know how this works? Not even your bottom bitch gets a bunch of money, man. Or so I'm told. So the songs the chat is for Jack.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop the link to Buster's channel so that everybody can go check it out. He needs more views and subs.
Now, when it comes to DC, it's supposed to be that way, and there's a very, very good reason for it. And you're right. They want it because they know it's blue as fuck. You can see that by the way they vote in mayors. Literally voted in a crackhead because he was Democrat.
Twice, because he got caught smoking crack, and they reelected him.
I'm only, in that instance, I'm going to give him a little bit of credit not knowing he was a crackhead the first time.
Yeah, but the second time
from prison,
yeah,
for crack and being a John because he was fucking hookers. He comes back from that, and they're like, "Yeah, let's hire him again."
Seemed like a good idea at the time, I guess.
Look, he was doing a good job, man.
Smoking crack and banging whores, baby.
Think about it this way: he kept some crack and some hookers off the street.
Don't think that's quite how that works.
It's literally how it worked. I mean, at least for an hour or so, he kept a hooker off the street. At least, wasn't there like 3 of them in the room?
I think so.
Bitch, set me up.
I'm helping.
He did more to take crack off the street than the war on drugs does.
That's probably true.
He was using it himself, but fuck.
Well, I mean, Florida can't use it all, can they?
No, but now they have meth, so they've moved on. Nadia's Maximus, thank you. Biden got his cancer removed. There anything left? I saw some people talking about that. Did he have some surgery?
He had a lesion on his chest removed.
Oh, okay. Didn't his wife just have cancer lesions removed?
Yeah.
Good God, what's in the White House? They just pumping asbestos into that place?
Well, it's a manifestation of the corruption of the government.
Oh, I guess so. He should get a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, Obama did, so argue with me that anyone doesn't deserve one. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Real quick,
I just think Marion Barry got a raw deal there because he was just trying to keep crack and hookers away from kids.
No, he was not.
He was so dedicated to it, he was willing to take one for the team.
I got nothing. I don't understand the whole thing. But Frank brings up a good point. Thank you, Frank, for the dono. Why can't Jerry Springer get reelected then? Because he's
different
dumb.
town. Different town.
Yeah, Cincinnati is pretty corrupt, so it wouldn't have surprised me if he'd gotten reelected. But you don't write checks to hookers. That's not only poor form, that's lazy.
And actually, these days, he could absolutely get reelected.
Yeah, because that's not even the worst thing you could do at this point.
If he ran for mayor of Cincinnati again and they tried to bring that up, he'd be like, yeah, that all came out a long time ago. Let's talk about now.
Yeah. Plus, he has given us those fun shows over the years.
And that alone would get him elected.
Yes.
Look, elections are popularity contests. It's literally all they are. Who do you like better? And Jerry Springer is a very, very popular person, even with people on the right. If you know his politics, you would probably hate him for that. But who didn't watch the Jerry Springer show?
Yeah, it's a traffic accident just sitting there,
It was great. It was the internet before the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so I get what he's getting at there. But yeah, absolutely, he could get reelected these days. I pay my hookers with credit cards. That's how you should do it, Buster. Fucking dude paid for a hooker with a check. I'm just trying to imagine you're sitting there balancing your checkbook and go, where did I spend 150? Oh, right, that whore. All right.
That's to add in my hooker fees.
You think he ever bounced a check for a whore?
I have no doubt he did.
No, I forgot about that one. My bad. I don't put that in my register because it reminds me of my shame. Oh my. So Jack, that was the only real news that I brought today.
Oh.
We got to talk just a little bit about the fair and balanced shit because holy fuck.
Oh, is that drama still going?
Oh, it got a whole lot worse. So Divinity filed a counterclaim. And we know for a fact she filed a counterclaim because Fair and Balance's dumbass took the counterclaim and sent it to DeFango.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why are these people such other women? Never mind. Such fucking drama queens, man. Just stop going after each other like children.
When you file a counterclaim, you're supposed to sign it with your legal name.
Yeah.
And she sent that to a drama channel.
Why would you do that?
Because she's that just dirty. Doxing? Yeah, it is. She's a dirty bitch. And instead of doing it herself, having the nerve to put it on her own timeline and stuff, she gave it to a drama channel to do the dirty work for her. That's what happened. Yeah, that's why she did it. Now, it seems that Divinity did not actually sign her real name, though.
Oh.
Which leads to DeFango actually going on a stream and doxing her.
Wow, what a shithead, man. That's fucking rude. Don't dox people. How old are you?
Showing pictures of her family, including her children.
Oh my, what?
Yeah, oh yeah. And then he decides he's going after Nick Rekieta. Because he's going to prove Rekieta actually did swing. Dude, nobody gives a shit if Nick and his wife took other genitals.
He's a lawyer on the internet. Who fucking cares? Who is he in the grand scheme of things? And stop doxing people.
Wrong Neighborhood says DeFango's doxed multiple people. This isn't the first. I don't care about his doxing other than don't dox. The interesting part there is Fair and Balanced giving that to him, expecting him to dox. That's why she did it. So that he would release it and she can pretend that she's above it all.
Yeah, and that actually makes it a little worse because he's a known doxer then. So it was intentional.
There's only one person that could have the email that he posted. And that's Farron. So that's my point, that she knew it was going to happen. Yeah, she's a dirty, dirty bitch. And Grifty, I've mentioned him a couple of times, little cucky bitch. He comes out and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe DeFango did this. Look, I think Divinity's bad. and that Fair and Balance is going to win any lawsuit here. But I really like. He actually names these off. That Umbrella Guy and Chrissy Mayer and that Star Wars chick and who else he named? Yellow Flash. And they're all in Nick Rekieta's orbit. And I'm really trying to make a thing of this. So because of principle, I'm going to denounce this.
Really? That's as wishy-washy as he could bring himself to be?
Dude, it is even worse than I just made it sound. Because he starts out saying, okay, I denounce this. And he says, some people will say this is damage control. And it absolutely is. And then he goes into, look, I'm trying to basically suck up to these people. And
that's what it sounds like.
But I'm doing it for principle. What?
That don't make no sense. Up.
Snub, thank you. Why does it matter if he swings? Most husbands consider a threesome with their wife and another woman at least once. I mean, because apparently this will mean he's a cuck, which, by the way, no, it wouldn't. That's not what cuck means. Even by the internet definition, that's not what cuck means. If you're slamming some other chick while your wife is slamming somebody else, that's swinging, not cuckoldry. Cuckoldry. However you say that word properly. But apparently it's a big thing. And he goes in this long tirade because Nick let a couple of his LLCs expire. And like, you let those expire. Okay.
So was he using them?
No, one of them's in Texas.
Well, then what's it?
It just shows he's not a good lawyer. It's retarded. It really is. The Defengo part of this is retarded. I'm not going to lie. He's a dachshund piece of shit going after divinity that way. But the Nick part of it is just flat out retarded. He's going to be the one to take Nick down. And several people have started pointing out that if you watch his show, and I did watch his tonight, it is very much old school Ralph.
Oh.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. No, parts of it do still matter. The Farron part absolutely still matters.
Yeah, getting someone doxxed and having pictures of their family leaked, that's fucked up.
And all of the people who are still defending, or at least will not call this bitch out, they got some splaining to do.
Yeah, I don't know how you could defend this woman after that. That's pretty fucking low.
These are the people who, oh my God, look what happened with Amber Heard and what she did. All of this shit, you point out all this bad stuff people do, but when it comes to your fat little friend, you can't say a word. And it's really, I mean, imagine she went after a creator you did like. Imagine if she decided to do this kind of shit to Nick.
Yeah, and if she's done it once, she'll probably do it again.
Yeah. I do absolutely care about free speech on the platform, and I really care about fair use on the platform, especially considering, occasionally we show videos on here.
Well, I mean, that's just it. If you're using fair use, you're not doing anything wrong.
Right.
It's just because somebody doesn't like it is a different thing.
Tell us her home address and real name. I won't do that. No.
No, I think that's pretty shitty. Keep your disagreement online where it belongs and act like a grown-up. It's not that fucking hard. Why are these people acting like teenagers?
No. Don't act like a grown-up. Just don't make it so... just keep it the online childish shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what grown-ups do. They compartmentalize.
Thank you, Snubberth. On that point, Monkey, he's meaning the cuckoldry one with Nick. I have a Christian Science Monitor question. If you watch your female partner with another woman, would you consider that cucking? No, for a couple of reasons. One, the internet's use of cuck is wrong, just like ridiculously wrong. Somebody on the internet heard the word cuck and they started running with it to mean pussy, is what they really meant. And that has just been thrown everywhere. Cuckoldry, it's actually raising another man's kid. Your wife is, had a baby with somebody else and you raise it.
Usually through an affair.
Yeah. Thank you, Prince of Cats. Monkey and Jack, I don't agree with you on some subjects. That's great. I love hearing free speech. I enjoy difference of opinion. And I also enjoy people who get pointed out for being shitheads. Yeah, which is what started all of this.
We've managed to piss pretty much everybody in the audience off at some point. So, I mean, you're not going to agree with anyone 100%. And it's nice to get other perspectives sometimes. And sometimes you change your mind.
Rogue says, it's all under the umbrella of deviancy. Yeah, if you want to call him a deviant or a degenerate, fine. But actual cuck, no. I know Jeff Holiday, goddamn, don't make me stick up for Jeff. He says that his woman goes and sleeps with other women, and a lot of people called him a cuck for that. I'm like, you guys just don't know what that word means. And that's a losing battle, Jack. I've been trying to fight it, but
you're not gonna.
I know. Popular usage. Okay, great. We have to change definitions because people are retarded.
They've been doing that for a while now on the internets.
Yeah, but by that thinking, there are tons of people who say trans women are women. Does that mean they are women? Because hey, we're just changing the definition.
Yep, by popular usage.
Yeah.
Literally. Which could be figurative now.
Which literally means figurative according to several dictionaries.
Because of popular usage.
We're
not saying you can't use the word cock. You can still use it wrong. It's just you have to recognize that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
Anyhow.
Actually.
That's why they keep making up their own meaning to words. Failed English class. The internet, this is one of the worst problems with the internet. People will hear something and just repeat it.
How dare you tortiously interfere with my word usage?
Thank you. I was just about to bring that example up. Tortious interference. It's a real thing. And when you hear legal channels talk about it, they're talking about the legal tortious interference. And then what happens on the internet, like, you said something mean about that person. Technically, that's tortious interference. It's so not. Could you just stop repeating shit? I cannot tell you how many times I've had arguments with people where they've called me a name or said straw manning. Straw manning is one of the worst fucking phrases. By the way, straw man is a phrase, not a word.
That's a fallacy.
It is a fallacy. People will throw out the term straw man and they have no idea what it actually means. Straw man means Jack says something. And then in response to it, I talk about something completely different as though it has something to do with what he just said. And I make that my argument. Like, see, like Jack would come out and say, I really like Coke. And I come out and go, your hatred of ramen noodles is really what this is all about. And I'm tired of you hating ramen. I can prove you don't like ramen noodles. And he's over here like, I didn't say fuck all about ramen noodles. That's straw manning. Making an argument that somebody didn't, or answering an argument that somebody didn't make. And people are like, I don't like your argument, you straw manning bitch. Like, that's not what it means, you fucking retards.
You don't know me.
The internet is bad for language. It really, really is. Oh, anyhow. Argument based on false pretenses. Yes. Sounds like cognitive dissonance to me. Stop it. That's one that they haven't quite ruined completely yet.
Oh, don't challenge them, monkey.
They will, I know.
To yourself.
Well, I think it's because there's other words that they're doing it to instead. The fallacy thing, that one is, oh my God. That's a slippery slope fallacy. All right. Yeah. Everything you don't like isn't a fallacy, okay? It's not.
Whatever.
A fallacy. That's got to be my favorite of all of the retarded shit I ever heard. It's a fallacy.
I couldn't believe you fucking said that.
Well, if you look up the different fallacies, it is listed there. Thank you, academia. And it's another thing where these idiots, somebody read a book, not people who've actually went to college, and they saw a fallacy. Oh my God, everything's a fallacy.
Well, that's an appeal to authority, thank you.
Yes, I know. The problem is, if you're going to use it, you really should know what it means. That's not an appeal to authority fallacy. It is actually, you should know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, that involves a lot of hate facts, Monkey. And
it's only a fallacy when it's not relevant to the conversation.
Yeah, it has to be misapplied to be a fallacy. Yes. That's not the point. The point is, I don't like you or what you said, so I have to make myself sound smarter by putting a bunch of shit out. Because by using the word fallacy, you are making an appeal to authority.
Yes.
Otherwise, that term wouldn't exist because somebody in authority came up with that.
If somebody says a woman can have a penis and you say, let's look at the dictionary, that is not an appeal to authority. I mean, it is, but it's not an appeal to authority fallacy.
Yeah, it's not really the technical definition of it.
Yeah.
But again, they don't like it. So
no. They hate it, actually.
Yeah.
God, I hate the internet sometimes. I love it for most of the time, but especially when it comes to language usage. God damn.
James, you are correct. That is a known unknown.
Oh, sorry. What else we got? That's a red herring. Oh, don't go there. And now
that's
everybody's
the guy
throwing
that did
out
all the crimes on Young Scooby-Doo.
It
was red herring.
Fucking things that the internet has destroyed. Why, Jack?
Because there's a lot of dumb people out there.
I feel that they just hate me personally.
No, They're that's just a fun side effect.
This will make Monkey insane. Let's change the meaning of words.
See, it comes down to stupid and lazy. And it's one of those two categories, sometimes both. But people don't bother to do the research when they hear something from somebody they trust. They just run with it and assume that person is correct. And it snowballs from there. Turns into the telephone game.
I used to say facetious all the time. Now I say flaccid. My friends hate me. Why? Do they not like words? What's wrong with those two words? I say facetious. Are you misusing them? Because if you're misusing them, then I'd hate you too. I'm just saying. That's Top Russian. Fun. Oh, go ahead.
Snub said in a word, it's doublethink. Yes.
Top Russian scientist who created Sputnik 5 COVID vaccine is strangled to death with a belt in his Moscow apartment in a row with intruder.
Clearly a suicide.
What's that?
It's clearly a suicide.
Clearly, yeah. He was trying to masturbate and choke himself at the same time.
We have a birthday.
Who?
Pipkin Papa?
What? Is that a word?
Gundam Forever said it.
Is Pipkin here? Where's Pipkin at? Hello?
I don't know who that is.
I don't want to sing to him if they're not here. I want them to hear it.
Yeah.
You got to hear this shit live. That makes it better. You don't want to hear that later. I'm just saying.
Oh, she's a VTuber.
Oh, well then happy birthday to her.
Indeed.
Andrei Bodikov was a senior researcher involved in making the Sputnik vaccine. His killer was found by authorities and has since been arrested and charged. I feel like that part should go, if he's found, I just assume that they arrested him.
Well, I mean, 50-50 these days. And by they found him, is it like, that guy looks guilty? Let's say he did it.
Russia Investigative Committee has launched a murder investigation after a top scientist was found dead in his Moscow apartment. Andrei Bodikov, known as one of the 18 scientists who worked on the Sputnik 5 coronavirus vaccine in 2020, was identified as a man who'd been strangled to death with a belt. It was previously reported he had survived an encounter with an intruder and started a row with him over money. But a 29-year-old man has since been arrested and charged with the murder of the scientist. Well, that sounds like cover-up.
No. What?
Like, yeah, he was fighting with this guy over money and they had a big fight and he killed him. Oh, by the way, we found Bill over here. We think he did it.
This guy's got a long criminal history. Let's just frame him.
For the record, Russia is dirty as shit.
Yeah.
The investigative committee of Russia said they found the suspect in the shortest possible time after he tried to flee the scene. They claim he confessed to the crime after they beat the shit out of him. I mean, during an interrogation. Committee, it's struggle session, Jack.
Yeah, with a rubber hose.
Committee also reported the defendant had already been prosecuted for committing another serious crime. Russian media reported that the suspect, known as Alexei Z, had spent 10 years in prison on charges of providing sex services. Did he go to prison for being a gay prostitute for 10 years?
It's Russia, dude. They put Pussy Riot in jail for shit like singing about gay stuff.
That's a serious crime over there, is being a gay prostitute. No wonder Putin's been making those USA is degenerate speeches.
Yeah. Being gay over there is still big no. I mean, that's a lot of the just generally talking about homosexual stuff is pretty borderline over there. They don't have free speech. Real quick though, thank you, Evolved Potato. I know Monkey is doing this on purpose to annoy people, but the bow of a ship and the bow that you shoot arrows with are spelt the same but pronounced different, like the words lead and lead or read and read. Yeah, he's doing it on purpose. So he could say row, but he likes to row boats instead.
That is row your boat.
That's a row.
You can point to another word that's bow, and I'll say bow. You know why? Because that word's bow. Isn't bow spelled B-O-U-G-H?
What? I don't know. Yeah, bow is in like when the bow breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's B-O-U-G-H.
All right. He had previously, we're talking about the scientist again. He worked for the Russian State Collective of Virus D.I. Ivansky Institute of Virology. I just want to get to one part that I read down a little bit. Sputnik was the first registered combination vector vaccine against COVID-19. All right, wait for it. Critics suggested the vaccine was approved without robust research into its safety and efficacy. You know, over here, Jack, they would call that a conspiracy theory. But if they're talking about it happening in Russia, like, by the way, critics say, fuck. What? Yeah. Apparently, if it's a Russian vaccine, you can point out that there were critics. Over here, conspiracy theorists say that it was done without robust research. Yeah. Over there, yeah, critics. They're just critics over there.
Yeah. Just to clarify, because I'm getting corrected in chat. The bow of a ship is B-O-W. A bow that you put children in is B-O-U-G-H.
Okay. Row your boat.
See, he knows it gets you guys.
Am I gonna have to sing row your boat again?
Only if you're in England or maybe Australia.
Row your boat. Oh, can I do my English accent? No, I don't know if I can now that I'm trying. I have to do it. I was telling Lady Monkey about my English accent, and I actually did an Irish one, which I'm not very good at. I'm worse than I am with my English accent. But if I try to do it, I can't. It has to be a natural thing. Bow versus doe. Doe is said doe.
Well, I mean, in the Taoist tradition. That's DAO though.
Or surprised
TAO,
nobody's brought up the Dow Jones.
Nobody cares about the Dow Jones. It's all fake. It's rigged like wrestling.
And I will say row when they stop, or I'll say row when they stop spelling it row. Okay. Row, row, row my boat up and down your mom. I don't know why I had to be their mom.
I don't know. I'm running out of jokes on this, so
I just think it's funny how mad people get. And I will never say row on purpose. If I ever do it, it's on accident because that word is quite clearly fucking row. I can see it. ROW. Row. Revealed Ronald Roll Doll. I want to say Ronald because I feel like they left an N out of that word.
Yeah, because Rolled is not a name.
No, it's not. Roald Dahl books were neutered by woke consultant aged 8 to 30, led by non-binary, asexual, polyamorous relationship anarchist who is on the autism spectrum. What?
There's a lot going on in that sentence, isn't there?
Oh my God. The effort by inclusion consultants to sanitize the collective works of famed children's officer. That's where I was going. Roald Dahl has caused a stir across the literary world. Penguin Random House publishers. Do you think they're going to go in and edit Stephen King's It? I feel that has much worse shit than Roald Dahl's stuff.
Yeah, that has a child sex orgy. But
yeah.
But they like Stephen King because he's a big old lefty, so he gets a pass.
Yeah, I mean, they could at least dress it up, and instead of a child sex orgy, they could call it, third period.
Yeah. Oh, Peter wrote a better headline for this. Literature defaced by AIDS commies.
Yes, that's
much more succinct.
Okay, where are we? Penguin Random House employed woke UK-based consultant agency Inclusive Minds to take on the that there I would have just left.
Yeah.
The word inclusive, that's another one that has been absolutely just destroyed because now it means we're going to say the stupidest shit possible.
Yeah, and it really has become a censorious term.
Indeed. Well, lefties love child sex orgy. Usually they put themselves in it, though, cannibalistic.
Yeah. It's more of a wish fulfillment for some of these perverts.
They call it an end of the year party at Miss Smith's house. The consultant team was led by a woman who describes herself as a non-binary, asexual, polyamorous relationship anarchist who is on the autism spectrum.
Yeah, there's so much going on there.
Please notice me.
Why isn't everybody doing what I want?
The editor, who spent months neutering the work of famed children's author Roald Dahl's, were led by a mission not to offend by an individual who describes herself as the above stupid shit we already read. Twice. The organization is charged by their mission of making mainstream books represent every child. Oh, is this our person?
I believe so.
Yeah, this is her, Jo Ross Barrett. She recently departed Inclusive Minds to become a full-time DEI professional.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. She could use her DID for DEI to get extra paychecks.
I don't say this very often, but that woman needs a good dicking. That
woman probably needs an institution.
With permission. Because sometimes you say that, you want her raped? No. I think she needs to find a nice man or woman who's got a nice strap on and be laid down and have the retard banged out of her.
Yeah. Yeah, Stevie, look, a failed author. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Are you guys serious? If they edited it, they'd edit it to have more child orgies because of their degenerate freaks.
Probably.
That's probably true. Yes.
Oh, look at her. Somebody mentioned that she looked cute. In that first picture, she was kind of cute looking. But look, this is the Tumblerization.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is she gonna Jerry
too.
curl? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
All
It's
right.
probably poop in her hair. Who knows?
Wait. God, my thing scrolls so slow. I mean, she's got kind of curly hair, I guess, but it's not the tight curls she has down there.
Yeah, she looks fatter in the second picture too.
Well, that's because she shaved off part of her head.
Yes, Snub. Oh my God, look. That hair screams, "I hate men." Yes, it does, 100%.
Anyhow, yeah. So it's been. It makes sense. It does make sense that that's who would be involved in this, honestly.
Yeah, and it's kind of predictable, but there's a lot going on there, and this censorship crap is getting worse.
I just want to point out once. Oh, go ahead.
That they are editing Ian Fleming's books to take out offensive terms.
And some of them aren't even offensive.
No, it doesn't matter, though. There's also an article that came out, which I don't remember if we covered. I don't think we did. But Kindle is retroactively giving you the censored version. So if you download a book, read it, delete it, and then re-download it to reread it later, they'll give you the woke version.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's why you have physical media. Digital might be easier, but if you don't have it backed up on an off-site thing, the cloud is not safe. They will wokeify it.
So I want to point out once again, asexual is not normal. You need either psychiatric or medical help for that. We have a biological need to have sex.
Yeah, it's how the species gets where it's at.
And if you're okay with it, that's fine. But there is something wrong with you. You need to go get it looked at. It's not normal not to want to have sex. Anyhow, and I mean, the only time that becomes okay is after you've been married. Apparently, some women stop doing it. Luckily, I didn't have that problem with my wife, as the fact that we got married and pretty much immediately had 2 more children should tell you. And the fact that my wife was like, we're going to take the bullets out of that gun if we're going to keep doing this. And you saw what I did. Snip, snip.
Sad.
I already replaced myself, my wife plus 1. I contributed to the world.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. I'm an overachiever.
Apparently.
Oh God. I saw this. When even Walmart won't fucking be in your town. All Portland Walmart stores to permanently close in late March.
That says a lot about your region, quite honestly.
The last 2 Walmart stores within Portland city limits will close in late March, the company announced. The locations at places I don't care about will close on Friday, March 24th. Walmart says they are closing the stores because they were not meeting financial expectations.
Yeah, it's because of all the retail theft, almost certainly.
I'm very curious about that. I mean, even in a woke-ass place like Portland, Walmart isn't making enough money. There's plenty of poor people there. Imagine getting dumped by Walmart. What? Hey.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people that wander out with stuff.
The decision to close these stores made after a careful review of their overall performance. We considered many factors, including current and projected financial performance, location, population, customer need, and the proximity of other nearby stores when making these difficult decisions. After we decide to move forward, our focus is on our associates and their transition, which is the case here. People who live near the store that are closing say the closure is going to have a big impact on them and low-income shoppers. Yeah. And see, this is what I was asking that. I know Walmart pretty well, Jack. I worked there for quite a while, and even low-performing stores tend to still make money, and Walmart is all about, hey, give us the money. They're a business. That's how they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
For them to be actually closing the stores like this, I'm just having problems believing it's because of financial expectations. You're probably right, and it's in chat too. Theft is probably a big deal, but you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. We've seen other stores, close. They're like, "Hey, we're closing this because we can't make money. You guys are stealing too much," and they're, "Oh, you're racist." By the way, it's racist to say that because you're saying all black people steal.
Well, I mean, when there's no consequence for stealing, the same people could be doing it, and it wouldn't matter. You're walking out with $1,000 worth of stuff every time. That does really hit the bottom line pretty quick. You get 10 people doing that, and your store is going to start bleeding money.
Says there are still over a dozen Walmart stores in the metro area outside of Portland's city limits. Yeah, but Walmart does a very careful screening when they put in new stores. They really do. And they're not the best at it, Jack, because like they had one not even really near us. One of them 60 miles away that they took it to a super center, and it did impact our business. Because we had a lot of people who would drive 60 miles because we had the super center. But they would have closed these a long time ago if it was like a major retail impact on the other dozen stores around there.
Yeah.
What they're going to do is just shift the shoppers over to those stores, and you're going to have the same problems there.
Well, it depends if the bus line goes there.
Here's what you do.
That sounded awful out loud.
Armed guards. Fuck it, man. I feel bad for those other stores. Whichever ones are closest to where those are shutting down. Come the first of the month, going into April. Because Walmart is a big government business.
Yeah.
They get a lot of their money through food stamps, through Social Security, and through your what are they called? Tax returns. That's where Walmart makes a shit ton of money. And the stores are always packed. In our local store, I can tell you when Social Security comes out. It's on the 3rd of the month. You go to our local Walmart, which is a good distance away, Jack. On the 3rd of the month, it's Night of the Living Dead in there.
Yeah.
It is packed, and it's all fucking old people. And none of them, they all walk like their shoes are tied together. I don't like going to Walmart on the 3rd of the month because it makes me want to push old people over. And I don't like feeling like that. I try to be a good person.
No, I'll take the old people over the fatties that stand next to each other in the same aisle, and they're both looking at a product, and they're blocking the entire aisle. Like, have some consideration. At least the old people are not trying to be in your way.
Eagle says 1st of the month or 3rd, actually. I get mine on the 15th, but I get disability. Yeah, there are different times. I don't know if it's still that way. Here in Michigan, they also food stamps to help retailers. They actually had it staggered based on your last name, I believe is how they did it. And so like some people would get it on the 5th, some on the 7th, some on the 9th, and some on the 11th. And so we would always have to make sure we were well stocked in grocery on those days. Yep. And the state was nice enough to be like, oh, these poor retailers, they're having so much money or so much trouble getting this government money. We got to make it easier for them.
No, those lobbyists were like, look, you need to shift this shit around. It's becoming a hassle.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay. What?
Again, I do believe that some people need help, and I'm not against that, but it is kind of weird to me that part of the federal or part of the state government was like, you know what we need to do? Yeah, this food stamp thing is just a little too inconvenient for people.
No, cripples and old people. Like, if you're crippled, like you got one leg or something, and you were in the war or whatever, or you got a horrible disease, fine. But just being fat is not an excuse. Oh, you got a bunch of you have a baseball team worth of children. Fuck you. That's your fault.
I'm okay, especially like in economic downturns, things like unemployment, limited food stamps, limited help. It should all be limited except for, the infirm.
Yeah, if you have some sort of infirmity, like I said, I have no problem with that, helping people that absolutely need it. If you're like on rough times, you get 6 months and you can't go on it again for another year or 2 or 5, 10.
Eagle says, I'm in Michigan. I didn't know that, but I never worked the system before, so I don't know the numbers. If you're trying to shop at Walmart and you're trying to avoid that kind of shit, there's a couple of things you can do. If you're trying to avoid the big crowds, go as early in the morning as possible. That's your best bet. Otherwise, shop at the end of the month, not anywhere in the first half of the month, because there's a good chance you're going to run into one of those things. Because remember, it's also based on, especially Social Security, where a lot of people still get actual checks. A lot of it is based on it being a weekday, because if the 3rd falls on, I think if it falls on the weekend, they get it before it, so it could be on the 2nd.
Yeah.
So yeah, just shop at the end of the month.
Evolved asks, doesn't a lot of food stamps cause government-supported monopolies?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are side effects to these sort of things. It used to be you would get government food. They made their own peanut butter and government issued toilet paper, butter, cheese.
Government cheese.
Yeah, government cheese, man. That stuff actually wasn't that bad. It was like good Velveeta.
Velveeta is good. See, we're not going to have this argument again.
No,
we're going to have a row over this
wrong.
one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not my fault you're wrong. Government cheese and even government peanut butter is as dry and watery as that could be, because there'd be like this layer of oil at the top.
You had to mix it.
As you went down, it got drier and drier.
Yeah, you're supposed to stir it, and you'd get this big ass. I had government peanut butter before. It's in this big ass tub that looks like a Crisco tub, and you're supposed to actually stir it up every time you use it, and nobody does that shit.
No, you might try, but it's turned into a big fucking hassle. Yeah, I knew some people that had that, but we came close a few times. But yeah, it's the government cheese. My grandma would get the government cheese, and that was actually pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. The government finds new and inefficient ways to fuck everything up, so they just went to giving people money because it was easier, I guess.
Comrade says, dude, they wouldn't give me any because I was a student. They said I need to work 20 hours and full-time student first, then I get food stamps. I said if I could get a job, I wouldn't need food stamps. Michigan actually changed their laws a couple of years ago, because it was, if you were a student, that was an automatic food stamps.
Yeah, because you were considered poor. Mm-hmm. It varies by state.
Our poorest, at least a decade ago when I worked at Walmart, our poorest county in Michigan wasn't actually a very poor county, but it was a college town, and they counted the students. So yeah, poorest county in Michigan. It wasn't. The poorest county is right over. I know where the poorest county is. I've drove through it, and they're, Jack, I don't know if you could even consider them houses anymore. Just everything is falling down.
Yeah, shanties.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the poorest county has a lot of really nice houses in it.
Yeah. Well, whenever government assistance shows up, there seems to be a strange boom, because you get an underground economy then. Not only do you have the government money, but there's people working off the books. You're allowed to make a certain amount of income on the books before you lose your benefits, and everybody knows that line. But you'll see people in like trailer parks driving fancy new cars.
Oh, yeah.
And getting all kinds of government assistance.
All right. Hey. We're not allowed to talk about welfare queens.
We're not. And
that's a racist Reagan thing.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I know more white trash on food stamps than I do black people.
Absolutely.
So just by percentages, black people are only 12 to 13% of the population. So most of the people on social assistance are going to be white, statistically. Yeah, that does make money.
As Tennessee, others target drag shows. Many wonder why. If anybody's wondering why, they haven't been paying attention. Yeah. Jay Case, thank you so much. My father-in-law was an ops manager at Walmart, D.C. for 25 years in a city literally called Hurricane, Utah. Lulz, thanks, gents. I never went to a distribution center. It was one thing I always wanted to, because I wanted to go see the logistics of it, because it really is impressive. Same with Amazon. I get it. Yeah, they work their people. Okay, yeah. But the actual operation is pretty fucking impressive. The way they can get stuff moved so quickly.
Oh, it's a literal science now.
Yeah. The DC our store used was, well, the main DC we used was actually based out of somewhere down near you. And by the way, guys, when I say down near Jack, I just mean the state of Ohio. I don't actually know where Jack lives.
I don't know where I live half the time.
Never be like, oh, he lives near that DC in Ohio. I have no fucking idea where Jack lives. And if you paid attention over the years, you should know that, because I've had him in Cincinnati and Cleveland and Toledo. I've had you all over that fucking state.
Well, I'm a moving target.
He's in Columbus. Yeah, he's all over the fucking place. I just wanted to point that out, because I don't want anybody showing up at that DC going, all right, I'm going to find Jack.
What a waste of time. But you come over and look at my white trash abode. What a waste.
There. All right. Dolly Parton has uttered the, oh, sorry. If I hadn't been a girl, I'd have been a drag queen. Dolly Parton has uttered these famous words famously and often. But if she were really a drag queen, one of Tennessee's most famous daughters would likely be out of a job under legislation signed by a Republican. That's not true. That is not true. By Republican Governor Bill Lee on Thursday. Legislation without issuing a statement or having a public ceremony. The bill goes into effect July 1st. Are you going to talk about the actual bill?
Oh, look, we're trying to shit all over it. We don't want you to know it's just about people protecting kids from weirdos.
Drag queens can still do their drag shows and shit. You just can't have kids there. What the fuck? Oh my God. I fucking hate this shit, Jack. Lying motherfuckers. Who is this from? The AP, of course. Across the country, conservative activists and politicians complain that drag contributes to the sexualization or grooming of children. No. Taking children to drag shows does that. Drag itself doesn't, if it's done in the confines of an adult establishment. No.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said that, you fucking retards.
Yeah, nobody cares about actual drag. It's when you do it around children. You pedos. Stop acting like pedos.
Several states are considering restrictions, but none has acted as fast as Tennessee. The effort seeks to extinguish popular drag story hours at which queens read to kids. Queens. Tell me that was unintentional.
I think we both know.
Organizers of LGBTQ pride events say that they put a chill on their parades. Well, yeah, stop showing your dick to kids. And advocates note that the bill, pushed largely by Republicans, burdens business in an un-Republican fashion. Yes, because before this, hey, you can do whatever you want. You want to show your dick to kids, please do it. It's un-Republican to not want to show dicks to children. My bad.
Yeah, how dare you shame us on freedom when you're trying to show your dick to kids, you fucking perverts. Why people are defending this shit is exactly why approval of the LGB is going way, way down, which we will see in another article coming up.
Look, if they hadn't started pushing this shit on kids, nobody would be talking about drag.
No, exactly, because nobody cared.
Drag's been around forever, and nobody's talked about this. Why? Because they weren't pushing it on kids.
Yeah.
All right. The protestations have arisen fairly suddenly around okay. The protestation started when you started bringing around kids. Drag Queen Story Hour. And what do they call it? Family-friendly drag shows.
Yeah. Did you see the one with the babies?
No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I saw the video of it. Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. With the guys doing the handstand in a thong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody was protesting it. It rose quickly because this just started. This shit hasn't been around very long. And as soon as it popped up, people went, this is fucked up. And you fucking idiots are out there like, they came after drag all of a sudden for no real reason.
Yeah, they still have this delusion that we're living in the like religious right era of the 80s, where there's an undue influence from a bunch of religious nut jobs. That's not what's happening here. There are gay people standing against this shit because they know what it's bringing on them. Everything they've worked for is crumbling apart because of this nonsense. But no, they got to get their pedos out there and support them.
I hadn't read the rest of this fucking sentence. I'm upset now.
Yeah, I figured this one would make you mad.
The protestations have arisen fairly suddenly around a form of entertainment that has had a long place on the mainstream American stage. What? Mainstream. How? Oh, RuPaul's Drag Race. All right, a tiny little show on a tiny little channel that some fucking weird women watch, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's middle-aged, bored housewives.
It's not mainstream.
No.
By this measure, porn is mainstream.
Porn is more mainstream than RuPaul's Drag Race.
Way more.
I could find you way more people that know who Chasey Lane is than I could RuPaul.
No, here. I just need people to be honest in chat. Just be honest. Give me a 1 if you've ever seen porn. Give me a 2 if you've ever seen RuPaul's Drag Race. And yeah, we'll just go with that. And give me both of them. Like if you've seen both, give a 1 and a 2. Give me a 1 if you've ever seen porn. 2 if you've seen RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, even accidentally. You could be a big Puritan, but that's even accidentally.
That's a whole lot of 1s and very few 2s coming through.
Yeah.
So again, we just took an informal poll. Porn is mainstream. I guess we got to show it to kids.
I have a wife too.
I mean, I feel you, dude. I feel you. I would never have seen RuPaul's Drag Race if it wasn't for my wife. For 2 reasons. 1, I'm not interested in it. And 2, I'm not a gay man.
Yeah.
Milton Berle, Mr. Television himself, was appearing in drag on the...
Yeah. Drag has been around a long time, but it was done for comedic effect back in the old-timey days.
Are they going to bring up Bosom Buddies? Because that wasn't drag.
Let's not forget Tony Curtis, who, by the way, was gay, did drag in a movie. Yeah, Some Like It Hot. The guy that always played retards, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, yeah.
He did drag a couple times. Flip Wilson in the 70s. Yeah, there's been tons of people that have been doing this shit since burlesque era. Vaudeville.
Using their definition here, Joanna Man is a drag movie.
Yes. Yeah, Tootsie. Good call.
Tootsie, yep. Dustin Hoffman.
Cross-dressing and drag are different things. Drag is a very specific thing that was done in risque bars, shall we say. It's a derivative of burlesque.
Milton Berle, Mr. Television himself, was appearing in drag on the public airwaves as early as the 1950s on Texaco Star Theater. Are you really making the argument that in the 1950s, the television censors were okay with what we call drag?
No. That was comedic cross-dressing.
In the 1950s, couples couldn't even be shown, even married, in the same bed.
Yes, I think the first show to do that was the Munsters in the 60s.
For fuck's sake. RuPaul's Drag Race, there it is a bona fide cultural phenomenon.
Oh, man. Like Stevie pointed out a second ago, Shakespearean actors were all men. You weren't allowed to be a woman and be a stage performer. It was considered a form of prostitution. So the women roles were played by men. That was not drag. That was, at best, cross-dressing. They're conflating different things here. This is strawmanning.
Highly popular. Yeah, there you go. This is straw manning. Highly popular drag brunches bring revenue to restaurants. That such spectacles are now being portrayed as a danger to children boggles the minds of people who study, perform, and appreciate drag. Well, when you confound everything with drag, sure. If you're being honest, and I know you work for the AP, so you can't, you're just full of shit. And the whole reason is they're pushing this on kids. You know, the drag brunches, those are also relatively new, Jack. And it was when they started saying family friendly that it became an issue. When people were taking their children to this and it was being shown, hey, they're taking kids to this nonsense. Drag is not a threat to anyone. It makes no sense to be criminalizing or vilifying it, said Lawrence LaFountain Stokes. That's a real name. A professor of culture and gender studies at the University of Michigan.
No bias there.
It annoys me that some of my tax money goes to that. And author of Translocas, The Politics of Puerto Rican Drag and Trans Performance. Well, I'll give you the trans as a performance. Oh, is that wrong? I'm going to get in trouble. It is a space where we explore, or where people explore their identities. What identity?
Pedophilia, apparently.
What identity are they exploring there? That's that would be their sexual identity, yes?
I believe so, Monkey.
But it is also a place where people simply make a living. Drag is a job. So is prostitution. I guess we should give that to kids too. By the way, also mainstream by their nonsense. It's older than drag. Prostitution been around a long time. Hey, get your 12-year-olds a hooker. It's mainstream. By the way, that was facetious. For anybody who's like, wait, Monkey wants me to get a 12-year-old a hooker? No. No. Where are we at here? Drag is a legitimate artistic expression. You can't say that artistic expression is subjective. That brings people together, that entertains, that allows certain individuals to explore who they are and allow all of us to have a very nice time. So it makes literally no sense for legislators, people in government to try to ban drag. They're not banning drag. Drag does not typically involve nudity or stripping. You don't have to strip when you're already mostly naked.
Yeah, and the grinding on people.
Which are more common in a separate art of burlesque, which also was outlawed in this bill for children.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. If you asked Milton Berle to do his act for kids, he would probably throw a punch and use the F slur. Yeah. Yeah. The old timers like that would not have tolerated this type of shenanigans.
Yeah, nobody was running around. Hey, get the kids together. Milton Berle's going to be dressed as a woman tonight. Explicit sexual and profane language is common in drag performance, but such content is avoided when children are the target audience. At shows meant for adults, venues or performers generally warn beforehand about generally. I like that. Yeah. They generally warn about age-appropriate or inappropriate content.
That's weird how all these videos are out there of supposed family-friendly events where there's people running around in thongs.
Well, remember the Christmas one?
Yeah.
I mean, that one was pretty fucking bad, and it was advertised. Grug the Caveman, hello. Thank you so much for that feminist $12. Women give booty to get food, many moons of fun. True story.
Absolutely.
Tennessee Pride Chamber, a business advocacy group, predicted that selective surveillance and enforcement will lead to court challenges and massive expense as governments defend an unconstitutional law that will harm the state's brand. All right, the Supreme Court has been very clear on things like this. You are allowed to have protective laws for children.
Yeah.
Period. Nobody's saying you can't do this stuff anymore. You just can't do it for kids. And you shouldn't be, I'm not reading the rest of this shit. You should not be against that idea. Why are you against the idea that you shouldn't be doing this for children?
Because they want to be around children. Why else would they be fighting this hard to stay in sexualized situations around children?
Why is it you so desperately need to do this for children? You should be able to say, oh, look, man, we weren't even going to, fuck, man. Nobody's even said anything like that. The problem is they have repeatedly. In fact, you're defending it now. But no, nah, bruh. This is proof of their ulterior motive. Yeah. It's not like a family went to a thing and they didn't realize that there was going to be drag there, and but they already had their food served, so they decided to sit and stay. No, they're taking them there purposefully. It's the goal. And they'll tell you, hey, it's to make it more normal. They don't use the word normalized. It's to, what's the word that they do use? It's not inclusion. But basically to normalize it for kids.
Yeah.
We got to get them so that they understand that this is how there's people out there like this, because that's what a 4-year-old needs to know. A 4-year-old needs to know that there's a guy running around pretending to be Dolly Parton with his dick basically on display, but hey, he's got a thong on, so it's okay. He didn't really have his dick out. You could just see the entire line of it.
Yeah.
No, Assassin, they would never use the word desensitize. I mean, it's absolutely familiarize is closer. I can't think of the word.
I'm drawing a blank only because you said that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it is to desensitize. It is to normalize is the closest word I can think of. But there's a word they like to use all the time. Anyhow,
PETA would be the most accurate. Thank you, Grug the Caveman, for that feminist donation. To give food to many Asian booty in Love Cave and not to drag booty. I appreciate that. I will put that towards some delicious Asian delights, if you will.
Dark Resurrect. I'm sorry. Dark Resurrect got it. Destigmatize. That's the word. Destigmatize. I knew there was a word, Jack. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I just got very excited when I finally got it.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But yeah, thank you for helping me with that, because my fucking brain was like, ah.
And thank you, Grug the Caveman, for that feminist donation.
Yeah, Grug, thank you for those donations, man. Where you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, somebody's been doing fun stuff without us.
Somebody been out there getting booty for money.
Yeah.
He walking up to bitches, giving them fish, and they're like, okay. You think that's how it happened back in the caveman days?
Yeah, a good fisherman got more poon. I have no doubt about it. Being a caveman must have been a fairly complicated thing, actually, because you're having to compete with other cavemen, and you're in this like communal setting trying to survive against all nature's horrors and still bring back enough food to get laid. Oh, it sounds horrible. It's so much easier just to make money.
And then when you did get the booty, it probably stank because they didn't wash all that well.
Yeah, and they had like 5 teeth. I don't know, but I think that's why we invented money.
Eagle says, I think all the words fit. Yes, but it's their use of language that you really have to pay attention to. We have to destigmatize this. Do we? And we have to let children know that there shouldn't be a stigma on this. A grown man dancing in a thong for children, there should be no stigma. Huh. And not just in that video, Jack, not just children, infants. It was a room full of women and their babies. Starting them young. Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Florida high school student who attacked teacher has 3 prior battery arrests. Will be charged as an adult.
I'm actually surprised by this.
That teacher looks passed out. And he's about to punch her right in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the video?
No.
Oh, man. It's brutal. This kid's a monster. And I'm glad they're charging him as an adult. I'm just really shocked they did it.
17-year-old Florida high school student accused of beating a teacher assistant unconscious earlier this month will be charged as an adult. Brendan Deppa, who assaulted Joan Nadich, 50. You beat an old lady?
Yeah.
I heard the story, or I saw that this happened. People were talking about it on Twitter, but I didn't look into it at all. And I only know this because of the next line where it says, after she took away his video game. I didn't know she was like an old fuck. Not that it would be good if she was young, but god damn.
Well, she's got a kid at that high school. So, yeah, she was knocked out, not passed out. But yeah, this was a horrific act. And she didn't take his Nintendo. Apparently, that's a story he came up with afterward.
He's facing one count of aggravated battery of a school board official, a first-degree felony in Florida, punishable by up to 30 years in prison. According to the Daily Mail, after examining the circumstances surrounding the February 21st incident at Matanzas High School in Palm Coast, the 7th Judicial Court of Florida ruled that Deppa should be tried as an adult and held on $1 million bond. Fuck this kid. Florida State Attorney's Office argued that Deppa did actually and intentionally touch or strike the victim against her will, and in doing so, used a deadly weapon and or intentionally or knowingly caused great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement. Video footage of the attack shows Deppa charging at Nadich, knocking her to the ground. He proceeded to stomp and kick her before punching her numerous times in the upper body and head. Took 4 people to pry the 6'6", 270-pound student off Nadich, who lay unconscious on the floor. She was rushed to the hospital and taken care of. She's now recovering at home. Following the attack, a GoFundMe was set up to raise money for her so she can rest, heal, and spend time with her kids without worry. At the time of this writing, over $60,000 has been donated. Sometimes the internet does the right thing.
Yeah.
Guy 6'6", 270. Wow. Yeah. In my strong days, Jack, where I'm 6 foot and 250, I would have trouble moving that guy off somebody if he was trying to stay there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big dude.
That's a big dude.
Somebody that big could move a lot of power. You put your weight behind something, and if he wants to go dead weight, oh, good luck.
Yeah. As the Daily Mail reports, this is not the first time Deppa has been arrested for alleged act of violence. In 2019 alone, he was taken in and charged with battery 3 times.
Kid's got a very violent history.
He then completed the Department of Juvenile Justice program.
Which means he had to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, hitting people's bad for a few weeks.
Retard strength, not quite. They're lucky he didn't have retard strength. She'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm on top chat. I forgot I moved that box. Luckily, I can see everything in the other chat. All right. Yeah, I like I said, Jack, I heard people talking about it, but I didn't dig into it at all. And you know what? Her taking his Nintendo, even if that were true, that's not a legal defense.
No, that's bullshit.
She took my Nintendo, and the jury would be like, and then hit you with it? What? I mean, but you know what, Jack? They should not have called the police on this kid because, you know, he's black, and they almost got him killed by doing that.
That would be the argument. I've seen a lot of people saying it was racist to arrest him.
No, of course. I was just making a joke. Fuck.
No, there's actually people defending this kid like she should have taken his stuff away. Fuck right off with that nonsense.
Iowa Republicans propose banning gay marriage in state constitutions. Why? Why have this fight?
I don't know.
The 14th Amendment is going to override this. It just is.
Yeah, you're already past the point where you're going to stop gay marriage. That's not a winning fight.
The only thing that this would do is eventually get it back to the Supreme Court, where it would be decided just on the 14th Amendment, which is what it should have been decided on in the first place.
Yeah, I would think, but here we are.
14th Amendment says people have to be treated equally under the law, and by that, a man should be able to marry a man the same way a woman can marry a man. Period. That's it. If your only defense is, well, she has a vagina, that's not a legal standard. 8 Republican lawmakers introduced a bill Tuesday proposing a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage in Iowa. They must watch a lot of Nick Fuentes.
I just don't understand why they're wasting their time on this. This is so out of touch. Like, how old are you? Let it go. There are other problems that are much more pressing than this stupid shit.
Yep.
It's already been decided. Leave it alone.
The Republicans are
stupid.
Yeah. But I've seen this with several different kind of cases where they're going after people they don't need to be going after.
Yeah, they're picking stupid fights.
State of play, House Joint Resolution 8 proposed that Iowa recognizes the definition of marriage to be the solemnized union between one human biological male and one human biological female. Amending the Iowa Constitution requires the proposal to pass the House and state and then pass the legislature again during the next assembly. If it passes this year, then again in 2025 or 2026, it then goes on ballots for a public vote. Back in 2014, the majority of Iowans supported same-sex marriage, and the number is likely even higher now, making it seem unlikely the amendment will pass. No, all you're doing is giving them a chance to call you homophobic. Seriously, this is one of those cases, Jack. This is one, you're wrong. Sorry. The 14th does override this. It really does. And 2, you're just giving them the optics argument that we've talked about optics before. If it's a just cause, fuck it. All right, fine. I don't give a shit about it. But this is not. This is a dumbass fight. That will go all the way to the Supreme Court, I reckon, if passed. It'll get shot down by the first federal judge that sees it. Anyway, no. Anyhow, that's just why are you having stupid fights? You have so many other fights you could be having. The trans people shoving their dicks in, drag people shoving dicks in children's faces. There's a legitimate one that you will win with the people.
Yeah.
Nah, bruh. We gotta, nah. Let's go after the gay people again for being married, for learning to hate each other over time like straight people do.
Yeah, look, most gay people I know don't want to get married because they're like, why? I don't want to give up all my cool stuff.
Yeah.
And they do find it funny when I say if you get divorced, you have to give half your stuff to a lesbian. The lesbians don't find that as funny. But yeah, this has already been decided, whether you like it or not. It's kind of immaterial. This is not a winning argument at this point. So it's just not going to happen. Pick a better fight.
Mike brings up that gay people call it discrimination if they can't get church weddings. I am fine with churches saying we won't marry you. Yeah. I have no problem with that. I go down to the courthouse and get it that way if that's the only way you can do it. If a court doesn't, or if a church doesn't want to recognize your union, I'm fine with that. That's their fucking right to do so. But legally, under our laws, there should be no problem with it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Chad.
The churches should have a right to associate with who they want.
Yeah.
So you don't get to violate other people's rights for your right. That's just being a bully.
And I'm going to say something that's going to upset some people. It's discrimination. Yeah, so what?
Not all discrimination is illegal.
No, it's not. So
I have a right not to associate with pedophiles or other people if I don't want to. You can't force people to be your friend.
Says churches enough that will. There are enough churches these days, especially that will, and more doing it each day. I mean, we saw the guy the other day who called God retarded. He'd probably do it for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think churches should be forced into it, especially because at that point, yes, you're talking about the, you go and you sign your legal documents and all that shit too when you get married in a church. But it's the church recognizing it. If they don't want to, they don't have to. Go fuck yourself. Go find a different pizza parlor, a different cake baker. All right?
Yeah.
Stop trying to force your shit on everybody because that causes more problems. All y'all need to settle the fuck down and leave each other alone.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the pushback is because people are trying to force their will on others.
Yep.
A lot of this stuff wouldn't be going on. This. I don't know about the Iowa bill specifically, but there wouldn't be as much disdain for gays and lesbians and bi, trans, whatever, if they weren't trying to bully everybody into doing what they want. I warned about this the first time we talked about the cake baker. Mm-hmm. The more you try and force somebody to accept you and do what you want, the more they're going to hate you.
Bubba says, try gay marriage at a mosque. I'd respect that.
Yeah, they won't do that because they know Christians are going to turn the other cheek.
They won't do that because they like their mosque and don't have to rebuild it. Don't want to have to, raise funds for our sister of the holy kaboom.
Yeah.
I don't know what mosques are named, honestly. I don't know how they name them.
I don't either.
Do they name it underage girls or something like that?
I don't think so. It's possible.
Underage love. You would think they would like drag shows. I mean, Muhammad, never mind.
I don't know him.
I would love to blow up, but not that way.
Yeah. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things.
I still agree with was it who was it that said it with the drawing of Muhammad thing? They're like, nobody should draw Muhammad. They're like, no, everybody should do it.
Yeah.
And we should have.
They need a reformation really badly in Islam.
Look, Islam can be here in the US, but you got to deal with our laws and our values. Sorry. You don't get to just kill people because they drew a picture of a guy you celebrate who banged a child once.
Yeah. Or
probably many, many times. I don't know. I don't know if he liked it after the first time. I don't know if that's actually in the scripture.
Yeah, I don't know. They are very warlike religions, so there's probably a lot of raping and pillaging.
Is there a book in the Quran called "The 9-Year-Old Was a Bad Lay"?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think that was part. That might be part of the secondary text.
Again, I want to blow up, but not that way. Just for the record. Run, monkey, run. Look, I'm sorry. I really, and I know I've done this before, but I just have to say it again. I have so much disrespect for all the fucking atheists out there who are too pussyfied to say fuck all about the Quran and Muhammad and Islam in general. Bunch of fucking pussies who will go after Christians that they know won't do anything to them.
Yeah.
They might talk back for a minute.
Yeah, but they will not say frowned upon.
Yeah, they're not going to go after anybody whose name is Muhammad. I guarantee you. No. Fucking pussies. There are a couple who do, Jack. Respect to them for at least being consistent, but they still go after Christians most of the time.
Real quickly, thank you, Evolved Potato. When they made gay marriage legal in Australia, they wrote it in the law. Churches had to let them use the churches. That was the reason I argued against it in legal class. I got a lot of hate for it, but no one could argue against me. All name calling only. Oh yeah, because it's feel good stuff. The imposition on other people is what I have a moral objection to. I don't care what you think about gay marriage. It's irrelevant. That's the law of the land. But you shouldn't be able to force that on other people that disagree with you.
I was coughing at the beginning of that. What were they talking about?
When they made gay marriage legal in Australia, they wrote it in the law that churches had to let them use the churches.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Wow. Yeah, that's messed up. Anyhow, fuck militant Buddhism. Wait, there's militant Buddhism? Aren't Buddhists supposed to be basically hippies?
No, there are militant Buddhists.
Are they like ninja? Are they monks like in D&D?
Not really, no.
I just did some karate moves. You didn't see it?
I heard the expression there. Yeah.
I told you I'm giddy tonight.
Apparently.
Yeah. I'm in a good mood, and I'm not hurting too bad for the second night in a row, Jack. So I'm gonna enjoy it. All righty. Hunter Biden firm teamed up with Chinese military company known to be national security threat. All right. Give me a 1 in chat if you are shocked. I am both shocked and awed by this. I was not expecting something like this. Not from Hunter Biden.
The smartest person Joe knows. What?
Hunter Biden is coming under fresh scrutiny. I mean, who wrote this? Hang on. This is the Washington Examiner. Okay, you guys give him scrutiny. If you talk about the mainstream media, though, they haven't given him any yet, so you couldn't call it fresh scrutiny. If this was like the AP, I'd be calling bullshit. But okay, Washington Examiner, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, you can't see my shocked Pikachu face, but it's there.
Hunter Biden is coming under fresh scrutiny over his Chinese investment firms teaming up with a Beijing military company to make a controversial business deal in 2015. I want to point out that when it comes to the business dealings and stuff, Hunter Biden, he's not even in government. In 2015, 2014, if you're going with the Ukrainian stuff, his dad was the vice president of the United States. That is important because daddy got 10% of this, 10% to the big guy. Oh no, I'm sure that only happened after he left office.
Yeah, totally.
He was too poor before then. The BHR Partners investment firm, which counted President Biden's son as a board member and 10% stakeholder, worked with AVIC Automotive, a subsidiary of the Chinese state-owned Aviation Industry Corporation of China, or AVIC, to purchase Michigan-based Hennig's Automotive in September 2015. Can I point out there was some different languages there, and the only one I had actual trouble saying was the one here in Michigan?
We were all going to let that slide.
Fuck. I'm just pointing that out because there is the notion out there, hey, if you don't know how to say things, you're just being racist against like Chinese people. I had no problem with the Chinese stuff. It was the American one that fucked me up. I am racist against Americans, apparently.
No, that's perfectly acceptable these days.
No, I just can't read. AVIC is a Chinese military company considered to be perhaps the largest defense company in the world. It was known to support the People's Liberation Army at the time that BHR did business with it, and it publicly touted its role in building jets for China's Air Force. Multiple AVIC subsidiaries had been sanctioned by the United States prior to Hunter Biden teaming up with it. Of course. Hey, he's just on the board and had a 10% stake. It's not like he had anything to really do with it.
Yeah, geez, monkey.
Shiro says that's probably ableist to dyslexics. For the record, I really do think I'm dyslexic. It's something I've struggled with my whole life, Jack. But I've never been tested for it. I went to WebMD and I stubbed my toe, and it said I was probably dyslexic.
It said you probably were dying of something horrible.
Well, that was in there too, but dyslexia was part of the side effects.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So, the government has long been aware of the national security concerns posed by AVIC and its subsidiaries. We've known since at least the early 90s that this organization is controlled by the Chinese Communist regime. All right. It's in China. It is controlled by the Communist Party. Okay. All of it is. You know, they were like, they pushed more towards capitalism. No. That they let businesses control themselves a little more while still directly controlling those businesses is not the same as capitalism.
Right.
All of it is run by the Chinese Communist Party. And we saw this with the housing crisis they had over there where like, well, look, we don't really control that. Yeah. And what happened if it failed? Oh, well, we're going to take over because they're not doing it how we want them to.
Yeah.
They own it all. Anyway, controlled by the Communist Party and is not friendly to America's security interests. Senator Chuck Grassley told the Washington Examiner. This transaction should have triggered serious alarm bells at the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, and an upstanding American business person who does not who does any due diligence would know that partnering with ABIC is choosing money over country. Yeah, we'll throw this into chat for you guys to read the rest of it because there's interesting stuff that it's going to get into, but
it's pretty lengthy.
Yeah. And we're getting late. And I had such a late start. Jack, I gave in to my old man nap today. I couldn't help it. And I'm sitting here. That's okay. It's like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall fuck asleep. So I went and told Lady Monkey, I'm laying down. And I go in there and I lay down, and she comes in, and I'm not quite asleep. I'm in that quasi asleep thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts talking to me. I'm like, what? And she's like, are you sleeping? Like, I'm trying to.
I was, and then some woman started talking.
And then I said, I love you, but in that state, I often am like, oh, yeah. She goes, what? I'm like, I said, I love you. I had to actually bring myself out of it to say it properly. Like, would you leave me alone? I'm trying to go to sleep. But yeah, slept for a while and woke up, and Phoebe's at her feet, and she gives me this dirty look. I'm like, I'm leaving. Leave me alone. She really doesn't like it when I'm in there. Anyhow, Hunter Biden's a shithead.
Yeah.
At this point, anybody who's like, oh no, Hunter Biden is a douchebag. He's put money over his country, and so has his dad many times. His dad just does it through his son.
Yeah.
So no. Did you see the bullshit about him only becoming an addict after his brother died? He did it to deal with his brother dying.
I heard that, and I thought that was such bullshit.
He got kicked out of the fucking military for it decades ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this is not a newsflash.
Hunter's been to rehab that we know about 3 or 4 times at least. And they're like, no, it's just because his brother died and he was so torn up by it that he had to fuck his wife and start doing meth. That's how I dealt with it when my brother died. I fucked his wife and started doing meth.
Yeah, I haven't started that yet, so maybe I'm behind the 8 ball.
Oh, that's right. All apologies for the jokes I'm about to make, but yeah, your brother just died. You should be smoking some meth and banging his wife.
I can't afford any drugs, and I don't want to bang his wife.
Well, after you bang his wife, if this makes you feel any better, you get to go knock up a dirty stripper.
That doesn't make me feel any better. No. Hunter Biden's a fucking degenerate. Always has been. Always will be. I'm surprised the guy's still alive, honestly.
Yeah.
He seems like a liability, but who knows?
Not just that, the way he lives, man. This motherfucker's lucky he hasn't overdosed.
Yeah. Well,
or had anybody, let's say, foreign business partners pull a Clinton on him.
Yeah. Well, he's too useful to them, I guess.
Maybe. I mean, on the liability side, you could see Joe being like, all right, let's Al Pacino his ass.
Yeah.
And take him out fishing. Although that was Fredo, but Al gave the order. It's a Godfather reference. You'll get it. But the other side, I mean, a lot of their dirty secrets are coming out from this too. This dude's going to fall out of a window in Russia one day. The Chinese will be like, thank you for that. They got friends, man. They got friends. Oh, son of a bitch. It's a Medium article.
Thank you, Frosted. Skip one, by the way.
By Jane Smallwood. Is that a trans person?
I don't know.
Huh. All right. Let's check out Jane Smallwood here. Your lips are wild. Your lips are wild bees, a prose poem. All right. Your lips are wild bees, your hair rain. You're made of shells, you're made of sinew. You are still glorious. Right?
What? You don't know how to read, do you?
Why would I say wrong?
No, you're reading poetry all wrong. You have to put a false emphasis on it, like you're a bad William Shatner impersonator.
I'm not the biggest poetry fan anyway. I say poets are people who couldn't make it as real writers. It really pisses off poets.
Well, you're not wrong.
Poets are people who can't figure out prose.
Yeah,
I will not give this the desire sheet. I'm not slam poetrying this shit. Your hands float over me, tempting but not touching. You are sleight of hand. You are a wizard, Harry. You tuck the hairy part I added. You tuck petals into me. Is this a lesbian poem?
Don't stick petals in your hoo-ha.
You're drunk. You're a master. You know that you know. Flesh brushing flesh, swollen knuckles, love taster.
I would like to sample your love taster.
That is my new bio on Twitter. It's just gonna say love taster. Oh, I should make a shirt. Anybody want a love taster shirt? Stones stacked against the wind. You smell like almonds. Isn't that a sign of like a poison?
Cyanide, yeah.
Like sugar, like zephyr breath, you eat fire. You are my portent. Every place, what the fuck am I reading? Every place you touch towers, hot steam, cloud making, Olympus. You're just naming things now. You are an ocean, such a river, tumbling down my body, seeking its origin. Your mom would be your origin.
Do you think I'm your mom? Stepdad, what are you doing?
Oh, he would be feeling up your mom to find your origin. What the fuck? Oh, God. Knowing where to find it, you are inside my geology. You are wind rushing through fingers as you play my lute. Seriously, does Jane have a penis or not? My insides ache to be part of your journey. You probably should see a doctor about that.
Yeah, that sounds like a medical issue.
You are made of red apples. What the fuck? Wait, would it be different if they were made of green apples?
Yeah.
What's the difference of being made of red apples and green apples? All right. You are writing a poem on my skin. You are thunder. Okay, even with poetry, this should have some kind of theme. If you're going to do these little paragraph sentences, there should be a theme of it. It shouldn't just be, I'm going to throw out random words. It's a haiku. I don't think so. You are root snaking into my center. You are cursing dusk moments, days, months of our separation. Your words scorching the sun, coiling it back into the sky. You are made of longing. You are up. You are down. The future cannot contain your inferno. You're a tornado spiraling towards me. Spinning hands press me deep into my bones. You are an architect. You are making castles in my wet sand. What the fuck? Frosted, what the fuck is this, dude? How did you even find this shit?
Frosted has a unique talent for finding really weird shit on Medium. Like weirder than normal weird shit.
You are wild weed bowing in a field. Bowing in a field. I'm not sure which way you're supposed to say that one with how she's using it. I guess bowing, right? Because the wind blowing it over. Maybe
this
that would be
crap,
poetic.
who knows? It's a roll of the dice.
You are wild wheat bowing in a field, waiting with all of your beautiful selves, with your slickening passion for the next time.
This is not how poetry is written, you guys. Not good poetry. There's no such thing as really good poetry, but this is exceptionally bad. This is like composition 101 level bad from like a high school freshman.
This is just, that is horrible. Jane, I hope you have a different way to pay your bills, sweetheart. That is, you are an apple, a red one. Because if you were a different colored apple, that would be wrong.
Right? Ew, slickening passion, right?
Look, this is the kind of shit that you're in like 10th grade, and there's this gothic chick, and she's like, I write poetry. Do you want to read it? And you want to bang her. So you're like, sure, I'll read it. And then you read it and you're like, oh, fuck, now I can't even fuck her. She's too stupid. But you tell her it's nice so you can still try to get in there.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. That's really good. By the way, if you were a high school girl and any guy ever told you your poetry was good, he lied to you. I don't know if you know that.
Quite likely, yes. Unless he was gay, and then it was probably accurate.
Nope, even then, even gay guys know that it's shit. I'm just saying. I know that high school girls, some of you, that's where you go to. I'm going to write poetry. By all means, do so. But just know that the guy who told you it was good was just trying to get in your pants. He was trying to find your origin.
Yeah. Be aware that nobody's going to read it. A Dixie Rose might be onto something. This may have been written by John Fetterman.
It could have been. I mean, with some of the word usage there, like just out of nowhere. Apples. What? Calm down, bitch. Bring it back. Bring it back.
This is the Kaiser Soze of poetry. What's around me in the room? What can I use?
This is the room of poetry.
Yeah.
Oh, good God almighty. Green apples are sour. I guess. I mean,
Matt, you're reading into it too much. I don't think they had this much thought into it.
No, they just happen to have been eating an apple and like, apples.
Yeah.
Tornadoes. Hot. Really hot. Origins. My mom.
I like pudding.
God damn, that was horrible. But nobody tell them how horrible it is. Leave them alone. Just laugh from afar. It's all right. Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator. All right, fair enough. Haikus don't make sense when Americans do them. The only thing English-speaking people should be doing in poetry is limericks. That's the only poetry that I acknowledge is good. Although my wife did just buy a copy of Where the Sidewalk Ends, and as a kid, I really did love that.
Yeah, I remember those. Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends were like staples of childhood for us.
Yeah.
No, if you're trying to get laid, get some like Robert Frost or something. But beyond that, there's no reason for poetry. It just impresses dumb chicks.
Yeah.
And chicks that think they're intellectuals.
It's like barely being able to play guitar, so you bring an acoustic everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the written form of that. Like, look, I can play Dust in the Wind. Nobody cares, dude. But there'll be one dumb woman there going, man, bang her, dude. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, I'm not saying it's wrong for guys to lie to women like that. It helps their self-esteem, and you might get laid. So take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I'm not
pretty she is through poetry.
I am neither endorsing nor telling you never to do that. Lying to a woman is just how you should communicate with them.
It's part of survival.
Yeah.
If you're in college, poetry is a panty dropper for a lot of chicks, especially if they think they're writers.
Oh God, yes. Anyway, if you can sing, that makes up for the bad guitar skills. I mean, they can play the guitar, but only the one song that they know. And they'll just sit there. Never mind. I can't be the only one who's run into that guy.
No, that guy's everywhere.
They make fun of it in Animal House. John Belushi comes down the stairs and picks up his guitar and breaks the shit out of it. It's one of the best scenes in that movie.
That's been a thing for a long, long time. And they're douchebags. And now, I remember in the 90s, they would wear like corduroy pants, usually brown, and have like a seashell necklace, with the little white ones. That and it was just, you could spot him a mile away. Like, oh, that guy's the hippie dude that's going to try and plow all the chicks here.
There's only one reason to learn to play guitar, and it's to get chicks. That doesn't mean people who do it don't become very good at it, but that's why you do it. And sometimes you get really rich and famous off of it too, while you bang a whole bunch of random chicks.
Yeah.
It's all about the chicks, man.
Always has been.
Always has been, yeah. Why'd you do that? I wanted to get chicks. That's why. Just don't do more than words. Oh, God. Okay. We got to pause for that. We got to talk about that. Because that song came out when I was in high school. And there were two guys. I only remember the name of the one. One would play the guitar, and the other one would sing with them. And they would sing that fucking song everywhere we went. Every fucking party, every fucking school event. Those two idiots were sitting there singing More Than Words. And there were like 4 girls who were just enamored with them.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And they probably still do it to this day.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Nostalgia.
And they weren't very good at singing it.
No, of course not. Nobody was good at singing that, even Extreme, when they sang it. It was their fucking song. I hated that song. It was so overplayed. So many people were trying to get laid off of it. I hated it.
You actually made me take down a story to talk about that, Matt. Yeah, that's it. Oh, God. I like the song. I like their delivery of it. It's not perfect, and that's part of the charm of the song. But dear God, everybody in our generation tried to get laid with that thing.
Yeah.
And you could not turn on the radio there for about 6 months without that fucking song happening. More than words to show you feel. Shut the fuck up. Nearly 15,000 miles from home, missing Miami tabby cat found in Kansas 2 years later. Aw, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't always try and make your blood pressure skyrocket.
Police in Kansas made a surprising discovery over the weekend when they scanned the cat's microchip and found the feline had somehow made it to the Midwest, all the way from South Florida. It's a cat. They're pretty good at survival. They're like nature's best hunter.
Yeah, they're a phenomenal hunter. And cats, they get around. They travel several miles in a day if they want. And well, this one apparently wanted to run away and join the circus or something.
Yeah. We do have Phoebe chipped in case she ever gets out. I thought about it when they asked us, do you want to do this? And I'm like, I mean, you're permanently putting something in its skin. Won't hurt it. But I love my kitty cat. If it ever goes away, I want to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can never leave me is what you're telling them.
And it was only like $15 or something like that. So yeah, I put that chip in there. A wandering orange tabby named Lucky was spotted in Prairie Village, about 10 miles south of Kansas City. After disappearing from its home in Miami, nearly 1,500 miles away, the Prairie Village Police Department reported. It's not immediately known how the cat got to Kansas. It probably fucking walked. Or somebody found it and took it there, and it was trying to find its way home.
Yeah.
Either's a possibility.
I mean, maybe it was just exploring the countryside. It was like the Lewis and Clark of the cats.
Lewis had been missing for... Oh, yeah. They were just trying to Lewis and Clark it for other cats. There's no cat trails in America.
Not that you know of.
We got dog trails and bike trails and chem trails, but no cat trails. Lucky had been missing for more than 2 years, the police department said. I've never heard of anything like this in my 20 plus years of service. Police Captain Ivan Washington told, I don't trust that name. That sounds Russian to me. Ivan? How dare you? And he's in government now, Jack. He's working his way. He's infiltrating.
Maybe he's a defector.
According to a Facebook post from the department, animal control officers contacted the owner in Miami and found that the pet parent was still holding out hope Lucky would one day come home. All right. I don't know what delusional bitch thought that it was coming back after 2 years, but I'm glad you got your wish.
Yeah, no kidding.
After 2 years, I'd be like, yeah, Lucky got unlucky somewhere.
Lucky doesn't love you. That's what that is.
Unlucky is part of Cruella DeVille's coat now. Yeah. He's a cute little guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He got little freckles on his nose.
Yeah.
And he's got the typical shape of the orange tabby face, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm talking about kitty cats. I love their little mascara lines. So many of them, so many of the tabbies have that coming right off the eye, and it's so cute. I love kitty cats. I want to pet him. They also learned the owner thought Lucky had been stolen and had filed a police report years ago. He probably was, honestly.
Yeah.
Police said the cat is slated to soon be reunited with its owner. That's awesome.
I'm guessing that he was an outdoor cat and somebody put food out for him and just adopted him and they moved out that way.
If they called me up tomorrow, like if Phoebe was missing and they called me up and said, we found her, she's in Texas, my fat ass would be in the car in like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, they went out there and got that animal.
I'd have went and got my kitty cat.
Yeah.
You think the animal control is going to give them a charge? Hey, look, you got a $15 charge to get this.
No,
cat.
They're going to be like, you have 7 days to come get this thing. Or put it down.
What good is a chip if it took random chance to find it? It will always take random chance for the chip. But the idea is that if it gets picked up by animal control, they'll scan it and be able to get you your animal back.
Yeah, and they won't murder it. Yeah, in theory.
I just hope it doesn't get picked up by PETA because they'll kill the shit out of it. Comrade Kitty, thank you. Where's the pug named Otis to join the kitty?
Miles and Otis reference. Nice.
Very nice. I would have made it Homeward Bound, but I don't remember any of the fucking animals' names.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because there were 2 dogs and 1 cat in Homeward Bound. My kids loved Homeward Bound, and they watched the fuck out of that movie.
That was an incredible journey.
It was a good movie, actually. I was surprised. And then they had a Homeward Bound 2. You don't have to make a sequel to everything.
No, most times movies like that don't need a sequel.
All right, I see that this link says Clown World, so we're gonna do one of these, are we?
Yeah. Thank you, Shady.
Fuck. That is a big bitch.
Have you seen this one?
No.
Oh yeah, even better. Shady Grin sent me this one.
All right, I'm trying my best with the new way I'm doing this, so I can see all of chat, Jack, both sides. I gained 2 cats from the neighbors because I had a dog door, and these cats would just come in, eat, eventually started sleeping in my bed, then just didn't go home anymore. I felt bad, but the cats made the something. I don't know what Jess is getting at there. Here's the thing. Cats are not domesticated. They just kind of evolved with us. That's a direct quote from a veterinarian, by the way.
Yeah.
So your domestic cat is not actually domesticated, and they will do their own fucking thing.
Yeah, if they decide they don't want to live with you anymore, they'll just leave. They don't care.
Yep. And they find a new place where they're getting food, shelter, love. They're going to stay there. That's why I don't let my cat outside the house, because I don't want them to. I don't want her to choose somebody else. Be like, oh no, fuck him. I'm very insecure, Jack.
You're also holding that cat hostage, apparently.
I fucking am. She is a prisoner of this house.
Day 385 of captivity.
Look, the one time she got out for very long, when I found her, she was very, very happy to be found. It's a good thing she's got that long fur, because if she was a short hair, she'd have froze her ass off. All right, blow this. Okay, I didn't read anything. Doctors cannot prove the science. What? Is this fat bitch gonna tell me? Never mind.
You know the answer to these questions.
I'm not going to guess.
All right.
Cute fat what? Cute fat queer is her name on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she got one of them right. All right. Is our sound turned up? Okay, here we go.
Science doesn't exist.
Did that bitch just say science doesn't exist?
No, she said the science doesn't exist.
The science doesn't.
Kind of cut off at the beginning.
Science doesn't exist. I have a master's degree in this.
You have a master's degree in the science not existing?
No, she has a master's degree in fatology.
I'm very curious to hear the rest of this now, honestly. All right. Oh Lord, this is going to be bad. That was my feeling too, Jess. Fuck. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are like, who the fuck is Monkey talking to? I'm talking to the folks over on Rumble too. So, one day I'll get good internet where we can put the chat on the screen and people will be able to keep up with that kind of shit, Jack.
Yeah.
But until then, if you hear me talking to somebody, you're either not on live chat or it's happening over on Rumble. So stop asking me questions.
No.
Trigglypuff got old.
This is what happened when Trigglypuff hit the wall.
I get very angry when people start promoting diets in.
Okay, I don't mean to do this, but does she have fucked up eyes? Is her one eye, her right eye looking to the left and the left one looking straight?
Yeah, she's got like a lazy eye, plus her head is tilted, which makes it look like the eyeball's drifting downward. And her head is gigantic because she's too close to the camera, which is just going to make her head look fatter.
Her eyes are really bothering me.
Try not to look too closely at the image. It's haunting, like the picture of Dorian Gray.
I get very angry when people start promoting diets in their lives.
And she has a lisp. Lady, if there's a God, he hates you.
Well, I mean, with this much arrogance, what's to like? She doesn't even have a good personality. Like you should, if you're a big fat woman who's not attractive in the face and has a lisp, you should be the jolliest fucking person on the planet because you gotta have something likable about you. You can't be an angry bitch. You're gonna be miserable, and even your cats are gonna try to eat you.
Blue-eyed Scream asked, did she eat Fauci? And Twisted says the names were Sassy, Chance, and Shadow in Homeward Bound. Thank you. Yes. All right. Don't look at her mouth either. I'm a mouth watcher, so it's actually weird that I was paying attention to her eyes, but it's because her eyes were weird and it drew my eye. Her mouth is disturbing.
Well, it's the lipstick's not helping.
Fuck yeah! Why is she wearing whore lipstick?
I don't know. Nothing about this woman is. She reminds me of like a Muppet of some kind, like one of those horror show ones that's weirdly uncanny valley.
Ladies, I'm gonna help you all out here. That lipstick color can work. There are some women who put that on like, God damn. Know whether or not it's you.
Yeah.
I like that color. It doesn't like you.
Yeah. Okay?
It's kind of like those cute little blossom hats. They don't work on everybody.
I bet she owns one of those too.
She owns at least 3.
Yeah.
And I have to go. I can't be around it. I am a fat person and you're attacking me by opening your mouth.
You could be taking my food. Food could fall into your mouth if it's open.
Oh, no. So that's I'm sorry. That's the wrong attitude here. By talking about dieting, it's an attack on her. How dare you try and lose weight? That's an attack on this woman by you trying to lose weight.
This bitch even got chins on her shoulders. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. Sweetie, come on. You're attacking fat. No, sweetie, I don't attack fat people. I attack stupid ass fat people who tell me there's no science behind fatness.
Nope. Diets are an attack on the tubbies. As a fat person, I do not find your diet an attack on me. Are you fat shaming me? No. Do I feel bad because I'm a big fat fatty? Maybe. Probably not. But some fat people have this defensive attitude that if you're trying to lose weight, you're somehow attacking them.
Yes. And it's weird. Look, as a fat guy, Jack, I don't attack fat people for just being fat. I attack the ones that do shit like this. Stop trying to push your stupid bullshit and make people turn into you to make you feel better about being fat.
Yep.
All right, let's get back to stupid. Let's hear about how there's no science.
Opening your mouth and saying shitty things about your fat body.
Shut up, fatty.
Be careful on what you say and what you are perpetuating.
Shut up, fatty.
Because it's all tied to racism.
You're white as fuck.
Yeah, but you're
Stop it.
By having a diet, you're disparaging black people somehow.
Stop this nonsense.
You want to eat healthier? Fuck you.
Black people genetically fat, you fucking retards.
No, that's not what I've been hearing. See,
no.
Fat phobia is anti-blackness. That's what
Black people started getting fat the same time white people started getting fat.
Yeah.
Stop it.
A lot of that is from like corn syrup and high fructose and corn syrup.
Processed foods. We've gotten much lazier.
Yep.
Black girls have big asses. Really? Go back and find me all those big asses in historical photos.
Yeah. Yeah. Even Pam Greer's booty was not that big compared to the shelf ass that we see now on people.
Yeah. They're trying to make it sound like the level of fat that was, it was just to try to keep black people thin like white people. No. Bitch, I can only see your 5 chins as much as I can count, part of your upper shoulders and your head. Tell that you are at least 150 pounds overweight. At least a whole fucking person overweight.
Yeah.
That's not racism. That's science. Is she for?
What the hell's going on with the internet? Is that me? Is my internet dying or is that Monkey's? It's one of us just cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hit the button and she said, and eugenics.
Oh yeah, you gotta back it up just a bit because I don't know. One of us cut out there for a second.
It was me. I can see it. I actually disconnected from chat for a second.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. So she's going to tell us about racism and eugenics. Okay. All right.
Boomertron has fallen.
Oh, look. She wow. That's wow.
This whole thing is a wonder to behold. Some sort of living caricature of the entire fat movement.
Is she missing a tooth? Several.
Yeah.
Promoting weight loss.
All right, we've heard the racism one before. How in the fuck is weight loss eugenics?
You're trying to get rid of fat people.
But
that's the slaughter of an entire people. They're like the Jews. See, the Jews were attacked, and now you're attacking fat people. It's a religion, the buffet religion.
Being a healthy weight has nothing to do with eugenics. It's not like we're breeding out fat people.
You're trying to, clearly.
Oh my God.
I said what I said. It's the truth. Stop it right now.
She has a tenuous grasp on truth.
I think she has a tenuous grasp on reality.
Wow.
When you start promoting weight loss. I said what I said. It's the truth. Stop it right now. If you care about me, if you care about fat people, if you care about yourself,
Not really.
You will stop.
All right, let's see. Do I care about you? Not even a little bit.
No.
Do I care about fat people? Only in the sense that I don't want people in general to suffer.
Yes.
Not that I care about fat people as a group. There's too many for me to go, yeah, I care about all of them.
It's a lot to care about.
I do care about myself. I'm just not understanding how the stupid shit she said relates to how I feel about me.
Well, an attack on one is an attack on all.
No, I need to lose weight.
I do too, but she's saying the science just isn't there, monkey. There's nothing to back up the culture of dieting. I mean, losing weight, lifestyle changes sounds like an oppressive thing.
Am I trying to breed myself out of existence? Am I trying to Downsy Iceland this shit?
Maybe. They have fat camps. Oh, slam dunk, case closed.
You will stop right now.
Shut up, fatty.
I had to leave a live this morning because they're all talking about diets and, oh, you got to do what you got to do. And you got to listen to your doctor. Your doctor's lying.
I think your arteries would disagree.
And her heart, her liver, her knees, her back.
Yeah.
But you don't question it because they got the white coat. They know. They must know. No, the diet culture informs doctors.
Sweetheart, seriously, you are fat as fuck and you need to lose weight. Has nothing to do with racism or eugenics. You're just fat as fuck. I don't know what else. I said what I said, and it's the truth. Jesus Christ. That woman is going to die of a heart attack.
Oh, almost certainly. Talik nailed it, though. These people do not want anyone else better off than them. And we see that in so many areas of society.
I quite disagree. And let me explain. It's not that they don't want people better off than them. This is an excuse for her.
Oh, yeah. It's massive amounts of copium.
Yeah. It's like those white people out there who go, all white people are racist. I'm not, motherfucker. All you're doing is trying to make yourself feel better about the fact that you are.
Yeah.
That way you can put it on everybody. See, it's not everybody's wrong. I'm good. I'm good.
See, I would argue that we're both right. This is feeding into delusion, but at the same time, she wants other people to be fat too, so she doesn't feel bad when other people lose the weight.
And we've seen this stuff over and over. I mean, they even went after what the fuck is that really fat bitch?
Whitney Waysor?
No, the other one.
Tess Holiday?
Yes, Tess. Tess came out and said she was going to try to lose weight, and they fucking attacked her for it.
Yeah.
How dare you? You're going to make people hate fat people.
No, but we should all be mildly repulsed by your unwillingness to try and better yourself in any way. You're going to die. And people do care about whether you live or not for some reason.
Here's the thing. I don't care. If she never wants to get any better, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about her at all. I don't know her.
Yeah.
I don't want her telling other people this nonsense.
Yeah.
She can be as fat. If she wants to gain weight, good on her. Fuck it. Kill yourself faster. I don't give a shit. I literally don't care about you at all. But stop putting that shit onto other people. Because you're spreading death is what you're doing with this shit. No, the doctors in the white coats, they're lying to you. I'm not listening to the doctors in the white coats. I'm listening to the CDC and seeing the stats on cancer and heart disease and diabetes. 3 of the top 10 killers of all humans in the Western world.
Yeah.
Not so much like in Ethiopia.
Well, they're poor, so
yeah.
They can't afford to be fat.
They are fat. We've talked
No, they're
about
not.
this.
That's a distended belly from starvation.
That looks like a fat little fucker to me.
Swelling.
We're not going to row over this one. All right.
No, there's no water to go there, or they'd have food.
Yeah, I don't give a shit that you're fat. Be fat. I don't give a fuck. you should want to better yourself. And even if you don't actually do it, at least the idea, hey, I should be doing this, that should be on your mind. But they got mad at female singer they did it to Adele. They got really pissed off at her.
Yeah, she lost a lot of weight too.
How dare you not want to die like us? Put the Pop-Tarts down, lady. Every so often, have an egg. An egg. You hear me there?
Not a dozen. That's
just one.
That's really expensive.
All right. I'm gonna go play a video game. We're gonna play some more Hogwarts, and we're getting into the thick of it. We had to do some side questing yesterday, Jack. Questing. Yeah. And I'll probably have to do that again today because I need to get my level up a little bit. I'm running into some bad guys that are taking a little long to kill. I'm still killing them, but they're taking a while.
Yeah, you want to be able to do that faster.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm old, man. I don't have that much time left. I got to make sure I'm using it wisely.
Yeah.
That's not true. I'm going to live forever. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you so very much for the donations. Thank you for just being here. Please make sure to hit that like button on your way out. Hit the thumbs up. Jack, anything you want to show?
I dropped some links in the chat. Thank you so much for the donations, you guys. That helps out quite a bit. And thanks for coming out night after night. We are glad to see everybody.
For the record, don't just hit the like buttons and share for us. Make sure you do it for all your favorite creators out there. I will be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey in just a little bit playing some Hogwarts. Come hang out. It's always a lot of fun. And I sing a lot more over there. Not always well. All right, never well, but come hang out. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Guys, take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Row, row, row your boat. There's no science behind that either.